Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trust the Prophets Monday night at Assiniboia Downs. Hope everyone's doing well and had a great weekend, ready to have some fun tonight. I am joined briefly by our great friend Jessica Tugwell, who is on her way back from Saratoga to Texas via Maryland. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm coming to you live from my childhood bedroom in my parents' basement, which is now essentially a storage closet. So you will have to ignore the decor behind me tonight. But wanted to come on for a little bit and help Sean out until we could get
Oh,
things going. But I'm heading out first thing in the morning, so I will not be sticking around the whole card tonight, unfortunately.
smart. No, and you have a safe trip, my friend. Exactly.
Thank you. Yeah, it was great to finally meet in person this weekend.
That was fantastic, my friend. Loved it. Loved it. The
I
handicap,
do
and there
think
was
we are probably about to run the first race. Should
yes,
we
we
pump
are.
that
Yeah,
up?
yeah. Let me see here. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Just
Just
look
to
at
make
this.
sure that as we say hello, everyone can see what's going on here. Do you have any strong opinions in this one?
Yeah, I was the two and the three. The two was I think the three was my value play. And this is
All
stable
right, yeah.
rule. I'm not necessarily
Yeah.
saying the three is going to win the race. I think the two, when looking at the two and the four, if you look at them, the two was running in open maidens and then ran in a maiden in a state bred, 7,500 and looked so impressive where the four's been kind of working his way out of the state bred things. So I just thought he was the stronger of the two. And
That's
then
fair, yeah.
and then for an upset pick, I thought the three, who I don't think the mile fit him at all last time, and
Hmm.
I think adding Balroop, who has had success with this horse in the past, at
Definitely.
least
Yeah.
was a value play at 12 to 1. Who did you like here, my friend?
I ended up with the 4 actually as my top pick. I just liked the consistency there. I thought that the 2 obviously made sense, and I thought that the 6 was the other horse that kind of made some sense in here to pick up the pieces, but has been chasing home other horses in here, so I didn't really need that one as a top pick. But between the 2 and the 4 was kind of where I was with Stable Duel, so I just went
Yeah.
with the higher price, the lower
Yep.
cost, I guess, on
Yep.
Stable
And
Duel with
that's
the
nothing wrong
4.
with that. If there's two horse, that I always say this to people. If you're choosing between two horses and you think they're virtually almost the same, go with the lower price. You know what I mean? That
Yeah,
may help
exactly.
you. You know,
Go with the value,
yeah,
and
go with
yeah,
the
I'll take
value.
the
Yep.
2 to 1 a little bit better than the 6 to 5, now 7 to 5
Yep.
on
Yep.
the 2. Unfortunately, yeah, we started a little late tonight because some scheduling issues. So we didn't
Right.
get to really talk about the Stable Duel, but since I will be gone later, I did want to mention how is North Fork 20 to 1 in that 7th race, right?
Yeah, I know, huh?
That's got to be I mean, I'm sure a ton of horse people in Stable Duel. Actually, it looks like 11% only
Yeah.
took him in
Yeah.
Stable Duel for $250. But that
Yeah.
5
Yeah.
horse in the last race I thought was just like absolutely ridiculous 20 to 1. So
I
that was my like
agree. I
key
agree.
one of my key Stable Duel horses where I was like, "Oh yeah, no, I'll take that for $250 and
Oh,
kind of
exactly. Yeah.
free square." I mean, I don't know that the horse is going to win, but I think he'll hit the board.
Yep. Oh, yeah. No, I
And
agree. I
and he
agree.
definitely won't go off at 20 to 1. I
No, he
expect
will
him to be
not.
single
No, no,
digit
no,
odds.
no, no. I consider he'll be probably like 9 to 2, 5 to 1. I think,
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
and
I think
that's
that's
still very
about where
much
that horse
value.
belongs.
And everyone's
But yeah, that was
doing
my one Stable Duel horse where I was like, that's your Stable Duel value of the night.
absolutely. And
Especially if only 11% of stables took him.
yeah, Zach. Yeah, that's extreme value. Hey, Frank, Mitchell, Malathot, Bobby, Charles. We got the whole crew tonight already. Right at the what? Alex, how are you, my man?
Love to see it. It was great. I got to meet Alex at Saratoga
Oh,
last week, so
great.
that was really
Alex is
exciting. That was
great, wasn't
fun.
he?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm coming in from a different computer, so I cannot see the chat.
Okay, no
But
worries. I'll help you out on that one.
yeah, exactly. Sean's gonna have to play host duties tonight because I've got
Yeah,
the
no
the
problem.
peon version
Yes.
here of the StreamYard.
You're on the Maryland version, exactly.
Right, yeah, I'm on the remote version coming
You're
here
on the
from my little
Pimlico
laptop.
version. You're on the Pimlico version of
A little bit in need of some upgrades,
guys.
exactly.
What a mess that is down there with Pimlico and Laurel.
Oh gosh, fingers crossed it sticks around for a while because
Yeah,
yeah, no,
exactly.
it's not great.
One of my
But it looks
favorite.
like
Hey, Rex.
we are getting close here. You might have to unmute. Oh, I think Colin put the stream in, so we might not have audio for this first race.
Yeah, okay.
If
That's all right.
Colin was streaming it, we probably cannot unmute it. So
Okay.
sorry, folks. It's a bit of a couple technical issues here with it, trying to get everyone figured out. But we'll do our best if we can't get Kurt's call in here.
Zach, yep. We'll give a call. Exactly.
Yeah, we'll do our best.
And they're off. There you go. And for the lead, we got the 7 going out the lead there. We got the 5. We got the outside horses. The 1 get up early, trying to get up in there with them. The 4 getting right up with them. So we got a 4-way battle up there. The 7 kind of the back, and the 3 and the 2 in the rear. The 5 taking over. All Terrain Jane. She's always up there in front. 22 and 3. They're flying up there.
3 in a row behind her.
Exactly. Look at this. The 7 trying to come up on the outside.
That's the 6.
That's
Dot and Dash.
Yeah. Hoping the 3 and the 2 can kind of get involved in this thing.
Yeah, the 3's making the move now. The 2 is kind of toiling a little bit there as the favorite at the back. All Terrain Jane, Dot and Dash coming down to the wire.
Try to move. The 3's moving.
Here comes
right
your
with
3, absolutely rolling along with Shotgun 1
here
trying
comes
to make
the
a
2 out of nowhere in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Oh my goodness.
1, 2. Hey.
Great call there on Sugar Daddy Jack.
Thank you.
That was the stable dual horse for the race, wasn't he? Dang. What did he go off at? That was,
I think, 12 to 1.
And an impressive run from Valid Defense, who really looked like he was going nowhere early.
I think he probably wins if he doesn't have that traffic trouble. The 3 had a nice clear path, and the 2 was loaded. I think if the 2 had a straight path, he probably
had to make his own room. I'd love to see the head on there just to know, because this horse had really nowhere to go. 3's
out in the clear, and the 2 just had to go through everybody. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But nice 8-1 winner to start the card off. We will take that. Absolutely.
Yes. 8-1 he went down to. Okay.
So, was he 10-1 on the morning line?
He was. Yep. Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've got my morning line cut off as always.
And you're four, as you said, consistency. He's there every single time.
Exactly. That was kind of the thought with that one. Just wasn't sure he was the best horse in the race. I really missed out on the 3 there personally, but I thought the 2 was the horse to beat, but that the 4 would hit the board and was the better price of the 2. And they were all right there pretty much. So, man, looks like Sugar Daddy Jack wants to keep going.
Yeah, and Sugar Daddy Jack is better known as the former Sleepy Time pick winner for Colin.
We had 2 of them in there.
Exactly.
Sugar Daddy Jack and All Terrain Jane, the Sleepy Time face-off.
Exactly. Tim, you're right. Great minds think alike. Alex just asked me if there's anyone at Saratoga I don't know, and there's 5 people I don't, Alex. So, exactly. So I'll meet them hopefully next year.
That sounds about right.
And Keith's joining us. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Keith, it was another person I managed to get to meet in person at Saratoga, which was awesome.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, Keith's a great guy. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Got rained on a little bit, but it was kind of nice, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Got a little bit of that sprinkle on Saturday.
Oh, I know. I saw that. Yeah. Some great races, though. And everybody stayed
absolutely.
Up. And everybody stayed up. That was the most, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I said, Little Bluebird, we got a good run from our guy, Our Country, last Thursday. He ran second.
Yes.
Mark Hennig got his 1,500th win in his career on, was that yesterday or the day before? That was yesterday, I think.
Yes, so excited. Oh, I am beyond. They're two of my favorite people, and man, I couldn't be happier for them.
So well deserved. So here we got 1920 to win for Sugar Daddy Jack, 620 to place, $3 to show, 260 and 210 for Valid Defense, and Shotgun One played 240 to show. That Exacta paid almost the same as the win bet, 1935 for the dollar. We got 1171 for the 20 or 58.55 for the dollar try, and 144.05 for the dollar super. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
if you like Sugar Daddy Jack to win, you might as well have bet him across the board rather than
I
try and
did. Yeah,
pair him
I
up with
did.
that Exacta there.
I did. Yeah, and 33% of the stables had the
Nice.
three.
Oh
Tim
wow, I am not doing a good start then with Shotgun One compared to that.
Tim Hughes and I thought alike. That's a shock. Hey, buddy, how are you? But yeah, and just quickly while I just have you on here, I really think people like Mark and other trainers, this HISA thing is really helping them get equal the playing field again, and their real training talents are showing, now.
Yes,
And,
exactly. The real
and
horsemen are rising to the top.
exactly, it's fabulous to see.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was put into existence for, is to bring things back to kind of the roots of training horses, not working with the best vet.
Right, exactly. Yeah, yeah. And in the house, kaboom on the three. Nice job, my friend. Yeah.
Awesome. Great
So,
start to the night in Opfa.
yes. In the second race, we got 17 minutes to go until race two. Great job for anybody who had that three out there. It's
Yeah,
early though. Your
absolutely.
four. Look at your four. Your four was right there again. Yeah, he's only
Yeah,
going
not
to
too
improve.
yeah, not too far back. We'll take it. We'll see. Gonna definitely need to do a little better with some of the other stable dual
Yeah,
picks.
yeah,
Which here I have the 5 rebounder, who I think opened up as co-favorite with the 7 Orcadian Storm, which it kind of made sense on paper that those seemed like the two
yes,
to really look at to start, at least in that race.
right. I have a couple of upset picks in that race.
I was about to ask, anybody else that you were really looking at in there?
Yeah, I did. I had the 7 on my team. So full disclosure, that means he probably wins by 5 lengths going away because I took him off. But just for value. But the 2 I went with was Murdo on the rail. Jared Brown is 20% off the claim. I like the
Mm-hmm.
fact that Bino gets on this horse. Carreno, obviously, I mean, Carreno's a great jockey too. But I don't really know. At 5.5, he was still passing horses, but he just didn't get out of the gate at 5. He's moving up to 5.5. At 6 furlongs, even he was moving up, and I think with Bino, and I know our good friend Carson would definitely be rooting for this horse because he's out of Palace Malice. So we know she would be all over that. But I just thought at a value, he ran 2 solid closing bids in a row before that, and I thought he was value. And the other one I tried was the 6 Towards the Light, not with
Yeah.
Whitehall. Courtney Ross is struggling. She's had Ali and Stevenson and Nelson. All of a sudden, Antonio Whitehall comes on board to try to maybe help. You know what I'm saying? And she got to. And I like when big riders take on horses to try to get the people a check. And this
Yeah,
horse
yeah.
it ran a very solid third last time. Am I saying he's going to win? I don't think so, but he could be a great stable dual play. Like across the board
Yeah,
value.
definitely. That was the one horse aside from the top 2 that I kind of gave a look to and ended up not using. I believe that actually he might have been one of the last ones I added. He was actually one of the last horses I added into my stable, was Towards the Light. Based off that last effort where he broke a little slow, and actually he'd been showing kind of a little more speed
Yeah,
prior to that last race, but still put in a good effort. So this horse has versatility, and he always kind of runs a pretty similar race. That race 2 back, he got a little burned out. It looks like getting close to the lead early and fading, but hopefully, if he runs back to the last race or even the race 3 back, that puts him hitting the board type of horse here. So
yeah,
horse that I don't think will lose me points was kind
yes,
of
no,
the
exactly.
thought there.
Yeah, and your 7 is very live here. There was one thing
Yeah.
that that made me switch, and if I'm wrong, then exactly, is the fact that Sanderson is 0 for 7, second time out off 180. You know, when I saw,
Yeah.
I said, do I want to spend? And I'm talking stable duel wise. Do I want to
Mhm.
spend 9,000 on a guy who's 0 for 7? Now this horse could just be just flat out better than everybody else. But I said, Shady at times rides great and rides, you know what I'm saying? So I said, so
Mhm.
I just took, but I definitely see him in the board for sure, and the one to
Yeah,
beat.
that's why I went with the 5 as like my top pick in here. I kind of
Yeah.
felt that those last 2 races, if he keeps running one of those, he'll be all right, and you don't have that kind of worry. You have a trainer who doesn't have a lot of starts, but does well whenever she runs them.
Yep.
They tend to run well. She's 4 for 6 in the top 2 so far at the meet. So
Yep.
the horses are coming ready to run, and a repeat of that last race puts him in the mix. This 7-year-old. So I think that that was the horse who I kind of trusted a little bit more. Just as, again, kind of the same reason I went with Shotgun One in the last race. I liked the 2 favorites, and I went with the slightly better value of the 2
Sure.
as the horse I wanted to work with in Stable Duel.
Yeah, and that's definitely, and they were getting played in the daily double too. I was looking at the daily doubles, and the
Yeah.
5 was right there. So clearly, I think your horse is in for a big effort tonight.
Yeah, they opened up co-favorites at 2-1. Now the 5's starting to inch up a little bit in the price there, now 7-2. And the 6 is taking money. So we're not the only ones who think that horse has a shot, certainly.
Yeah. Now I just read Tim said that Jorge Carreno's off all his mounts tonight, so that would be interesting to.
Oh,
And
gotcha. Yeah.
and Alex asked, "Where is Jerry Gorno tonight?" That's a great question. My guess is he probably sticks around up there until the Assiniboia Derby, and then probably there's another track or something that's open, and he may bring his crew to like another place or something like that. I don't really know him well enough, but that could definitely be a lot of after the big day. Sometimes trainers stay until the big day and then kind of head out
They're
of
stuck
town. You
elsewhere.
know,
Do they race? I don't know anything, do they race year round? What's their season at Assiniboia?
I think it's until the fall. I think
Okay.
I think it's till the fall, and then there's like other circuits up there. Exactly.
Yeah. So
But
they'll head out to the other
yeah,
tracks in the area.
right, exactly. Yeah. So 7 was Collins' top pick as value, and 8 to 5, very generous. Actually, not a bad price on him. I think 8 to 5, and your 5 at 7-2 is a great play.
Yeah, no, that's getting into win bet territory for me here, I think, at 7-2. That's I think that's very fair on that horse. He's consistent, runs his race. It's been a little minute since he won, and he hasn't won at Assiniboia in his 2 tries here. But that last race here, he seemed to take to it a lot better than he did the first time when he tried it last year. So
Sure.
hopefully we can move through it and get that win here for a rebounder.
Rex is asking Jessica, can Warbridge get into the exacta? What do you think?
Huh. I mean, if he improves, he has to improve second off the layoff.
Yeah,
But last, earlier in the year, he had coming first in the year, he did better second off and then took a little break through all of July and basically went from a 60 to a 67 earlier in the year. So maybe he does it again here, goes from a 60 up to a 67, which I think he'd need to do a little better than that to get in the exacta here, but he absolutely could.
yep. And I do think it's encouraging that Badri comes back on him, like another time, which he's willing to give him another chance. So that definitely is a thing in his favor for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You got tried twice with the horse and didn't really do a whole lot with him. But the fact that he's willing to come back with him, I think says something there.
Yeah,
That, I mean, if this
absolutely.
horse gets back to last year's form, absolutely, this horse does make the exacta. Like
Yeah,
he gets into that 2022 form where he was, on Brisnet running 70s, mid to high 70s. and consistently hitting the board at, even the $5,000 level, then yes, absolutely. Is he the same horse this year at age 7? That's the question mark. But second off the layoff, I wouldn't talk you off of this horse. 9-2 is a little short for me, I
Yeah,
think,
I
on him.
agree on that one. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, absolutely has the numbers that he could, the back class there, that if he gets back to that, he's absolutely a contender in here.
Yeah, Rex is going to try an exacta box 2 with the 1-5. Ooh, if you hit that one, that will be a
Okay.
mighty
Yeah, no,
nice one.
the one is a little interesting, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know why it's
I
13-1. I thought it'd be maybe a little bit less, but
Yeah, that's the board right now. That's who I would kind of look at a little bit.
yeah, there is some speed up front.
Yeah,
Pucker
there's enough.
Pucker is the X factor in this field. Like I did not
Mm-hmm.
use him, but how far does he go up front? Because it looks like he's definitely going to be kind of placed up and he's coming down. It'll be
Yeah,
interesting to see
class.
how far he can go, and B, who goes with him.
Yeah. I felt like the outside two were kind of the other two who might press him there. Those were the ones who I was kind of thinking, especially
Yeah.
the 7, I think, has been running a little bit quicker early.
Yeah, and then
Uh,
that's where I kind of came up with my one, thinking, well, if we get 3-4 people maybe up at the top, not maybe to win, but just to get up in terms of
Pick up
stable
some
duel,
pieces.
to
Yeah,
pick up the pieces a little bit in the middle. That's not a bad,
yeah, definitely.
not a bad value
That's
play.
Yeah, not at all. And another one who has races to go back to, and more recent races than the two that would make sense in here. Like even just going 2 back, where he ran that 73 and ran second at the level. Same condition to the non-winners of 1 in a year, or I guess this is like a 6-month, a time restricted
Yeah,
$3,000 claimer.
yeah, yeah.
This horse makes some sense to be one of those ones who could pick up the pieces, fill out the exacta or the try.
Exactly. Let us know
Definitely.
what you guys have here.
Yeah, definitely. Let us know what you're thinking here.
And I
Trying
can
to.
I can update the stable. The Tim just did it for us. Great, which is let me go to it just so I can find anyone else who might be. So after one race in the free game, I am 21st. The leader in the free game right now is Wit 0008. I don't know that person, but I love people. He's used 5 horses all in the first race.
Ooh, that's strategy. I mean,
That is, it
especially
can
with like a
work.
short
It can work.
field,
Yeah, yeah, and it work. It
it's
can work.
very
Yeah,
interesting, kind of watching what other people's strategies are in these.
yeah. And all 5 got plus points. So is that
Exactly. Yeah.
so. And Arthur likes your 5 here, Jessica.
All
I
right.
think it's going to be very solid.
Yeah, that was. I just felt like that horse just made sense to be the one here.
Neil, fascinating there on Jerry Gorno. Exactly. And this by the way, this Abley kid, well, he is riding great. The bug boy up there.
Yeah.
He jumped off the 3 to ride to stay in the 4. Okay. So that would
Oh
be
yeah, that's
interesting.
interesting there.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, exactly.
So if you like the 4, you're getting the weight break. The thing, the 4 has been beaten by a lot in here.
Yeah.
So that's one of the scary things about that horse. But another one who has races last year to go back to, certainly.
Yeah. Murdo looks on
But
his toes. I like it.
yeah, I like how he's kind of little independent of the pony, which you always like to see. Here Pucker is kind of doing the same thing where
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't really like to see him all over leaning on the pony, kind of
No,
getting
no.
real too buddy with the pony.
Right, right. It means his head's not totally on the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of times those are the same horses who will go try and get buddy with their friends in the stretch.
Right.
And that's not what you're looking for. You
Vince
don't want a
asked,
horse who's going to buddy up.
where and when is the next leg of the Canadian Triple Crown? I forget. I think it's in like 2-3 weeks somewhere, like Century Mile or something like, I think, or somewhere.
I
I
know
forget.
there's a leg at Woodbine, a leg at Fort Erie.
Oh, no. He's talking about this one, the West Coast one, I think.
Oh, gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, you are definitely correct. I'm actually heading up on Thursday for the King's Plate. I still always say King's Plate on Sunday, and that's the first one of the Eastern Triple Crown, and then the second one's at Fort Erie, and then the third one at Woodbine is on the turf at 1.5 miles. So I always
Yeah.
contend it is the hardest Triple Crown in the world to win because you
It's
have to
three
win on
different surfaces.
polished dirt, and turf.
Yeah, that's so fun. That's such a challenge. I love it. Murdo getting the best turned out here. So who knows? Maybe he'll get back to that. Some of those numbers that make him competitive in here.
Yeah, and
Apparently.
Oh, go ahead, my friend.
Oh, I was saying if he looks good on the track, maybe that's a good sign for him.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and in the $15 game, if anyone's playing in that game, I am currently in second place.
Awesome.
And Riders Up Tim is right behind in fourth, just stalking like he always does. Jimson Weed Meadows, who comes in a lot. If he joins Joe, I think, Joe is right there. Joe's 70th in the free game, but Joe can move up. And let's see, we have Killick, Spisley. Yeah, let us know if you guys are in the games, where you're located. Ombre is in 25th right now, but it's early. Oh, Frank Payne just answered our question. Century Mile is the next leg of the Western Triple Crown, August 26th. So the same day as Travers. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Big day. Love
day.
it. So that's week after next Saturday, not this coming one, but the following week.
Awesome. Now, just why I have you, Jess, did you get to watch any of the races from Colonial?
No, I have not watched any of the card formerly known as the Arlington Million.
Yes, right.
I read a little bit of some of the results on Twitter, but I did not get a chance to watch that. I watched the Sorrento on Saturday, and then I was done because that was like the race I cared about all weekend was to see how Dreamfire did in that race, and oh my gosh, that was
was that beyond impressive, huh?
That was so exciting. That's a filly I got to see her in person at OBS April, and I loved her. She has her little flaws. She's not perfect conformationally, but just the way she moved over the track. I love the pedigree. The Flame Away Sky Mesa cross is so good to me. I think that's going to be. I do not think she will be the only stakes winner bred on that cross.
No, exactly.
Provided he gets a couple of other good Sky Mesa mares, I do not think she's the end of the line for him there. And man, they're just so fast, these Flameaways. The good ones they're just fast. And I don't know how far they'll go. That's my question with them at this point. Is I'm thinking, a mile is probably going to be upper limits for a lot of them, especially these ones who go out there and just run so quick early.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think with some stamina, I think 1 mile and an eighth is probably good. I'm not sure that they're going to want to be, classic distance horses. But God, these Flameaways are fast. And this filly she was so exciting to me at OBS April. And to see her go out there and win 2 stakes in her first 2 starts after, getting to write about her on my blog and stuff, I'm so excited for that filly.
Yeah. And speaking of fast, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Colin has joined us, put the kids to bed. How are you, my friend?
I thought you were going to say, speaking of fillies. I'm doing great. Can you hear me?
Yes, they can. Yep. We were just quickly talking before the race here about her wonderful performance on the West Coast by her lady, who very much impressed. But I do warn my West Coast
Absolutely.
friends. I know I'm biased. I know he's my boy, but Norm's horse looked pretty darn good too. On the
Oh yeah.
yeah, she looked pretty good there. You know, she could be a talent. You know, so
Yeah, he had the Saratoga Special winner,
yeah,
correct?
yeah,
I
yeah.
cannot think of his name right now, but yeah,
Right.
that horse
Yeah.
looked good.
Yeah.
That was the
yeah,
Ghost Zapper out of the Distorted Humor mare because he was one
yeah,
of my watch list horses from
yeah.
Keeneland September. Yeah, that was
Rhyme schemes
impressive.
or
I got the
deterministic?
rhyme schemes. Yes,
Rhyme schemes. Yeah, yeah. Rhyme schemes.
deterministic though. That's a horse I heard some good things about coming into that race, and that the barn's pretty high on him, and he sure ran a nice debut there.
Yeah,
And you can check out that pretty fun video, the short that Colin put together on our channel, comparing the two impressive 2-year-old wins at the Spa on Saturday, which is a fun little short
yes,
you can check out. It's like
absolutely.
45
That
seconds. So
great job, Colin.
Hey, I'm trying. Working for the
Colin's
people
been
here.
doing
Working for the
some
people.
Yeah,
Colin's been putting out some great shorts
he is.
for
He
us.
is.
So
And I got
keep
one
an eye on the channel for those.
hopefully coming tomorrow. But first off, thank you to Jessica for pinch hitting because I had some daddy duties to do. I know you've got a long ride tomorrow, so you can jump off
Yeah,
if
after
you
this
want. I want to
race,
tell you.
I'll
I want to wish you
I'll stick through.
safe travels. I know you have a long
Thank you.
ride.
Yup, 23 and a half hours usually on the road, and that's not counting the stops. And I'm gonna do it in 2 days, so
Yeah,
it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
yeah. You just have a
That's what I'm
safe,
gonna tell myself.
safe travel is most important. You and the fit. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need
exactly.
Matt
Me and my
DeSantis
little
on a
fit.
ride like that to just keep talking to you the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, get one of his lectures. Exactly. You'll be
Yeah.
home
Right.
in no time. You'll be home in no time.
Love it. Yeah, I'll stick around to see what happens in this race, and then I'm
Okay,
going
there
to
you go.
head out to try and get some sleep so I can get on the road early tomorrow.
Absolutely. Who did you like in this race? I wasn't able to listen.
I liked the 5. The 5 was my top pick in here, and actually 7-2 as they load in the gate. I'm gonna throw a little. I think that's win wager territory for me on
Nice.
this
And you,
horse.
Sean?
I'm 1-6. I actually went a little long shots. Yeah, I had the 7 on my team, but I didn't want 3 in the trainer's 0 for 7 was second time out over 180. I think this horse could clearly be the best horse, and I may have made a mistake, but I just thought the value is worth trying to play against. But
6 has floated back up to a price. I'm kind of like, all right, 10-1. Yeah, no, like that horse was as low as like 3-1 earlier, but at 10-1, that's enticing. And the 13-1 on the 1 is very fair, I think.
Yeah, my one's getting
decent
late
little-
money
Get it.
here. I want
Let's
everyone
kick it
out
up
in the
to-
lead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sean
exactly.
needs a speed duel for the 1
I
here.
need 5 people all out there. Hey, there's Kirk.
Yeah, we realized we didn't have audio control last time.
Sorry.
We made it work.
Or are they saying Candace?
We
Sorry.
did a great call.
And they're off. On the inside, Pucker quickly out to grab the early lead. Orcadian Storm will be the stalker on the outside. Settled 3 lengths back in third. That's going to be Rebounder with Warbridge, and towards the light running as a pair. Another length back is going to be Murdo, and your early trailer will be Otani. 22-3, the opening quarter. Orcadian Storm now pokes a nose ahead of Pucker. Rebounder starting to get rolling from third towards the light, hugging the rail. And Otani making a late move. They hit the head of the lane. And the favorite, Orcadian Storm, through a half of 46 seconds. Rebounder, clear running room on the outside, is running out of ground. Orcadian Storm digging in and gonna win by 2. Second best is gonna go to Rebounder. Third to Murdo, and fourth
Good job, Murdo.
towards the line.
Oh, he loses stirrup there after the wire.
I know.
I thought that's. Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Keep control of them.
Right. Well, favorite too good there.
He was.
We
Yeah.
we tried with the 5. He had no excuse though. With that
No.
fast pace, he should have
No,
got him and
exactly.
just wasn't good enough. So, well, that's
Sure.
You
me
watched my
getting
the card
to
this week. That was my top pick of the whole card was that 7 there. So sorry I'm too
Yeah.
late to give it
well
to everybody
done.
early.
Yeah, I know, huh?
Well done.
Yeah.
That's why you got to tune into the capping the card beforehand. So you
If
can
I
get
had
those
kept it,
insights.
if I had kept it, I would have been first, third, and fourth. But we're all geniuses after the race, right?
That's
Right,
right.
exactly. And that's how it goes.
Myrtle got up for third. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, that would have been. I'll be curious to see what that try pays because that'll be very easy, like reasonable to get to type of thing. If you liked the 2 favorites on top, and then the 1 and the 6 were like the next 2 horses
Yeah.
to put underneath. So, but that is going to be it for me tonight, guys. I will be back
Thank you
in
so
full
much, my
force
friend.
next week, and I've missed these Assiniboia Downs streams, but travel makes it tough.
Yeah.
But
Thanks for pitch hitting, and you have a safe trip
yeah,
back to Texas. And
yeah,
we'll see
no
you next
problem.
week.
Yep, see y'all next week. Good luck tonight, everybody.
All
See
right.
ya.
Great to see you, my friend. Safe travels.
All right.
All right, Colin. It's the Boston
that
duo.
That is Jessica Tugwell. She'll bring you the pedigree puzzle as we have seen her be on fire with those as we got
Yes.
those lessons when we were up there with her up at Saratoga, Sean. She knows her pedigree and has been a great addition to the channel. So
She's
I
been
thank her
fantastic.
for covering my daddy duties on Monday nights. So I got to get the kids to bed. And we're off and running, though. Hopefully you were able to tune into Capping the Card, where I at least gave you the first 2 races. If you watched the first race, I was way off. Although, Sean, that Sugar Daddy Jack was one of my original sleepy time picks. So
Yes,
that horse,
he was.
he
Yes.
just keeps plugging along, baby.
He is. He's running great. Exactly.
And
You
so
have inspired him to greatness. Exactly.
Yes, yeah, he heard me. He heard that he was
did.
getting
And
slammed on.
He has not forgotten. He's taken it to the track now.
Yeah, he was like, I heard that there was talking some shade on Trust the Prophets, and let me show this guy up, and he has done exactly that. So good thing if you see him being calm in the paddock beforehand, that usually means you're going to expect a big race from him. So Sugar Daddy Jack's certainly one you want to put on your radar. And All Terrain Jane was also in that race, who was the other sleepy time pick that was able to overcome my fade jinx. So congrats to both of them. And then we obviously had this favorite here in race 2, number 7, yes. Ocadian Storm. Yes. We will bring you the prices here in a second. Ocadian Storm pays $4.50. Rebounder gets up for second with Murdo rounding out that try. The $1 try pays $23.70. And Towards the Light, number 6, which was Tim's long shot, gets up to round out your superfecta here on Monday night. And we are live August 14th. We'll set the scene for you. Sean and I will be here. Sean, can you hang the whole night, or am I going to be solo at some point?
No. I'm going wire to wire, my friend.
Oh, I love it. I
got the whip out. Exactly.
And so we're here live handicapping with you, following along with the live free stable duel tournament that we had tonight. I did get in on that. I didn't have luck in race 1. I saw some people asking to throw your names, if you do stable duel tonight, into the chat. I saw Hardspin 77. We know Alex is a big fan of stable duel. And look out for Tim Hughes, because he just riders up. Will roll all of you, including myself.
Absolutely. Legend.
And is Tupaloop in there? That's what we need to check.
That's the question. I gotta see exactly. Let's see if Movie Star's in there.
I haven't seen Movie Star, and I know he hasn't been in the games. I think he's enjoying his Monday and Tuesday day off.
Yeah, he's been working awful hard from the Wednesday to Sunday. So he's probably
absolutely
getting a well-deserved rest tonight.
All right, and so as we turn our attention to race 3 up at Assiniboia Downs for tonight, Sean, I'm going to pull up my slides from my show. I love getting the past performances out on Thursday, because you get plenty of time to handicap. But then when we get to Monday, I forget who we should do the show on Friday when I am all about prepared. And then we jump on tonight, and I got to remind myself of who I was on. So I'm going to grab my slides while you talk through who you liked in race 3.
Okay. Yeah. So if we look at race 3, I'll bring. Yep. Sorry. No
We're
problem.
good.
Yep. So I'm going to just add this for a second here, just so I can kind of tell. So my picks in this race is interesting. Is I have 3 horses in this race, and I have 1, 5, and 6, and I will tell you why. I kind of handicapped the race, and I looked at it this way. The I think the 2 is a very good horse, and he's run 2 good races, but he went into the going up against the Canadian. This is against Canadian breds. However, we have the 5 coming out of the open stakes, which they won. The 6's trainer, Blair Miller, is putting in a horse off of maiden. And I've actually seen this before, where horses win on the maiden, go from the maiden race, and then they win a stakes race. I think we just saw that like a week ago. And so obviously he has enough confidence to put him in the stakes after that effort, 3rd place. And then the 1, yeah, exactly. So I have the 1, the 5, and the 6. I'm figuring the 3 for Whitehall and Brown. My kind of game plan when I saw this race unfold is that the 2 and the 3 lost the break last time. If the 3 gets out clean, the 2 and 3 kind of ding dong out on the front, and the 1, the 5, and the 6 come get them.
Nice. Similar. I had the 5 on top as my top pick. Obviously, I saw what you saw with the confidence moving this horse up to the debutante, but I also paid attention, which I don't do a ton of, but I did for capping the card, which was the dam here. Sweet Tizzy Lizzy was actually a horse that has won at 7.5 furlongs. And so one thing I like to do in these races where they're now stretching out to 6 furlongs, you've seen them at 4.5 and 5, but can they get that added distance and win at 6? And so the number 5's dam, Sweet Tizzy Lizzy, actually won a race at 7.5 furlongs and was actually 6 victories out of 28 races overall. So a good dam there. The number 6 I had as my value play. Jomari actually never raced, but you have Ghost Zapper underneath there with that dam. So we know how Ghost Zapper got the distance, no problem, right? Winning the Breeders' Cup Classic. And so maybe some of the distance there trickles down. So I was 5 for my top pick and 6 for my value play in here in race 3.
Yep. Dennis
So let
is
us-
doing this.
Dennis is here. I've asked Dennis if he wanted to come on tonight. He's said he wouldn't be able to make it, but now he's in here chatting.
He got back late from his oil fields tonight, but for tonight, usually it's just Thursdays, but just for tonight, Dennis, because his oil fields are doing so well, 30% money back guarantee if you are not satisfied with your bets here on the Trusted Profits Network. Dennis, you just email him at Dennis_Trusty, and he will reimburse you just for tonight 30% back. So it's your money back plus 30%. So that's you just cannot lose tonight.
Yep, we're always happy to have our sponsors, and the Trusty picks are just doing so well these days that he has enough money to back everybody up in here. So just email Trusty and he'll take care of you. And Mitchell's here. Hi, Mitchell. Welcome. He has the 1 here in Stable Duel. This horse was sired by Carpe Diem. It's a sire I tend to fade. I don't know about you, Sean. I'm not crazy about the horses by Carpe Diem. That's just one of those personal little,
Yeah. I think, you know what, sometimes I have to put like my blinkers on, like, because I can be like you in terms of, like, if I don't like it, right, I have to remember where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes, like, if a Carpe Diem's at Saratoga, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? In terms of, like, right. But maybe it's in Assiniboia, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe those are the type of horses that maybe he can get 1 or 2 that will just run at that level. You know what I'm saying? Or that type of track. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. But I generally agree with you. They're not great runners, but this one looks like at least they have some ability on the early, you know.
Yeah, the number 3 Mobile Creek, the Damn Near mobile app, also had a victory at 6.5 furlongs. So I was talking about wanting to find some pedigree that's had some longer distance victories. This horse was bumped at the break in that debutant. So similar to what we said about the 5, having confidence in that horse to throw them in that race after the maiden loss. Mobile Creek actually won that maiden race that Comanzo's Last Dance came out of, and then ran 6th in the debutante, but of course had some trouble there getting out of the gate. But the speed figures to me were a lot lighter than what I saw off of that 5 and 6, and that was also where I decided to go for those outside horses, at least here in this race.
Yeah.
One thing to be concerned about with that 6 that I had written down was the poor connections. You got Blair Miller, who's 1 for 39. That was as of Wednesday. They haven't raced since Wednesday, and I don't think he won race 1 or 2, so it would still be 1 for 39. And your jockey at 13%, that was a little concerning for me.
Now, this is where I find this kind of amusing too. Okay, is if you like the 2, which I think is a valid pick, right? If you like the 2, and the 2's at what right now? The 2. Let's bring this just quickly
6 to 5.
6 to 5. Okay, so the 1. So you look at the 6. The 6 came in 3rd, just a length and a half behind the 2. Right, is that in his first race, right? Which is interesting. You know, one 6 to 5, and the other one 6 to. Well, he was just 9 to 1. Now he's 6 to 1. But it's just interesting. The 2 of them were in the same race. They finished virtually almost near each other. One 6 to 5 here, and the other one 6 to 1. So I'm just saying. So if you like the 2, you probably have to use the 6. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. That's certainly something. You know, you also really, I see 2 changes on this horse. They're adding blinkers and Lasix.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's a little bit of a curiosity, right? It's like, are they guessing, or are they on to something? So you have to pay attention. So it'd be interesting to see how Vindictive Miss this 6 runs.
Yes.
Both with what you just said, but then also those 2 changes that are happening for the 6.
Looks live, that's for sure. And the guy's wearing the CJ Johnson colors there in his back there with the
Yep, you're right.
There you go. See
if she runs like super high.
Exactly. And he had a horse at Presque Isle today in a stakes race. She'd never run on the poly track, and she won a second and 33 to 1. So
Nice.
There you go. So
perfect. We'll pause that. Let's find out who the chat likes. We got Bobby D, who's doing an exacta 5-2 over the 3-6. Charles B is doing a super box 6-2-5-1. And then our buddy Tim Hughes is on the 5 here with the 6 underneath. Don't underestimate the Chow factor.
Yep.
And Chow has ridden this 5 the first 2 times.
Yes. We know Bree is definitely voting for this 5.
That is right. No mention of Gittins training half of the field. Yes, you're
Yep. And that's, by the way, that's partly why I used the 1. I'm using a little bit of the Todd Pletcher theory here. Okay. If you like the 2 that much, right? Why do you put other horses in with him? You know what I'm saying? Like in terms of like, you know what I'm saying? And he must think that his horses have a good chance. You know what I mean? Exactly in here. You know, like especially that 1. That's also why I was a little appealed on the 1, because Giddens put this one in. I'm a little less on the 4, but you never know, the 4 could exactly and come in second to Justin Lemmy Adams. So, you know, so there's a reason he's putting them in. Thank you, Joe. That's a great point.
Yeah, 27%, I believe they're hitting at these 2. So that's definitely the connections you want to pay attention to. Chow was struggling a little bit at the beginning of the year and then has really picked it up recently, getting that winning percentage up to 20% this meet. He was off a little slow, if I remember correctly, but has really been on fire of late.
He has, very slow, but has really caught on fire.
So the horses are in the paddock. The 1 is looking a little Rambunctious. We'll bring that up for you here.
Yeah. He's ready. See, there you go. He's ready to go. He saw the odds board. He wasn't happy. He said, 10-1. What are you doing to me? Exactly.
Yeah, you got the two. You got a lot of horses in here. The names, you look at them first, and they don't roll right off the tongue. So Jostle Me Adam, Mobile Creek, the 4 is Banker's Day, the 5 Commando's Last Dance is my top pick at 8-5, and the 6 Vindictive Miss. Who do you have here in your stable, Dulshan? Did you take anybody?
Yeah, I have 1, 5, and 6.
All 3 of them.
Yeah, I usually don't use 3. I didn't like the last couple of races strongly, so I thought the 1 was value. I thought the 6 was value, and I thought the 5 was the horse to beat. So, especially when you have these outside horses coming into a state bred, stakes race,
Good call by Alex. Just let me at him. I totally, that's what I was saying. I saw Jostle. So well done by you, Alex, catching that one for me. It's late. I'm tired. I'm still getting back in the swing of things here. Tim Hughes has updated. He's in 4th in the $15 game and 35 in the free dollar game. Tim believes the last race is a toss-up.
It's a toss-up, yep.
That was the race with 12 horses, I believe, which is very unique for Assiniboia Downs.
Yeah.
Not normally you see 12 horses. I don't even know if we've seen a 12-horse field. Definitely not on these Monday night streams, because I was surprised to see that.
I'm currently 7th in the 15th game.
Awesome. So the horses are on the track as we get ready for race 3. Sean, if you're playing this pari-mutually, what would your bet be? If this is a Thursday night and you're managing your bankroll, where are you going to go?
I would do a $2 exacta box 167. I think the 2 and the 3 could definitely win this race, and I could be totally wrong. I'm just banking on the fact I think that the 3 who missed the break last time will go out and actually force the 2 into a speed duel, and maybe the open company horses come and get them.
So 156, right?
Yeah, 156. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's what I bet.
I would do a 5-6 exacta box for me and just go with those 2. Those are the 2 that I had my feelings on, so I'm not going to overstand and get cute. We'll just go with the 5 and the 6 exacta box as well, because you don't want to get beat.
Thanks to everybody who's joined in tonight. So appreciate y'all. Make sure you press the like button, press the subscribe button. It helps us out great with all the great programming that Colin is busting his butt right now, putting out for us. All great programming, by the way.
It's not all great. Some of it's crap, and you just throw it against the wall and hope it sticks. And then if it sticks, you say, "Oh, I wonder what people like about that."
Not me. He said it, not me.
It's okay. That's the fun part of doing this, and we have creative reign. We have no reins on here for creativity with Trust the Profits. Brian lets us go. It can be dangerous at times, but we appreciate that. Just look at Matt doing shows about Japan horse racing, and that's clear that they'll let us do whatever we want.
Absolutely. Yep. Dan Witchin, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, Tim's right. There was 2 scratches in the last, one of which was Captive Kitten, a horse that I love. So I was disappointed to see Captive Kitten scratch. And Sean, in that first race, we had Dot and Dash. That's a horse that he's kind of like the little tank, that engine that could. I know Dot and Dash is going to get a victory here one of these days. And he had it in the stretch and just got caught there at the end. But Dot and Dash and Captive Kitten are 2 of the horses in this early season up at Assiniboia that I've become accustomed to love.
Yeah, and Frank, good job. 14th in the $15 game right there. Right there, my friend.
Yes, we let Dennis on, so that does tell you how much crap we put on this channel.
That speaks volumes right there. Yep.
We love you, Trusty. Invite's still open, Trusty. If you've gotten out of your work or whatever you're doing, and you want to jump on. 2 minutes to post. They've got the inflatable castle tonight up at Assiniboia Downs. Plenty of fun. Plenty of
kids' night.
Bring the kids. I missed these nights up at Suffolk Downs.
Oh, I know, huh? That was so much fun.
And it's the start of the jackpot pick 5, which we should have done a little bit better job covering. Sean, did you have anybody maybe beyond this race here that you loved that you'd be comfortable singling or going skinny with?
I did in race 6. I really like the 5. Let me find it. Race 6 it was. The 4, low to broad.
6?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the 4. 4, low to broad. I just think this horse, his numbers, just when you look at the rest of the field, and this kid ably just riding just magnificently at the, and I just think he's strong. I think the 3 Lipstick Lady likes to just come in second and third, doesn't really like to win, so I think the 5 is, if I was singling anybody, that would be my single.
Okay, I thought that race was close between the 3, 4, and the 6. I thought the 4 maybe need the lead, and that's why I was a little concerned, because I think there's some speed inside with the 2 Giddy Up Zoe. This horse has shown some speed, and so when I came down to 3, 4, 6, I said let's pick the price, and I went with the 6. My Bella, at least on top in my show. I think you're right about race 7. That could certainly be open. I was really interested in Captive Kitten. I could also go the 4 or the 5 were interesting there. North Fork or Impressive Sense at 20 to 1, 25 to 1. So, maybe your price comes in that last leg in race 7. Race 5, I really liked number 8, Mighty Frisky. I just talked about Dot and Dash. And if you look at this horse's last race, ran a length ahead of Sugar Daddy Jack, who just won, and Dot and Dash, who was running well in the stretch. I don't know where Dot and Dash finished, but had a strong race there. So my top pick was number 8 at 4 to 1, Mighty Frisky. This horse is always in the mix. Which is someone that I'm interested in. So, and then the next race, I was interested in the lightly raced horses. The 4 and the 3 both have raced once, and hopefully some step ups there can get you through that race there. So that's our quick thoughts on the pick 5, which starts here in this race up at Assiniboia Downs. We have $65,000 in the pool. 30,000 of it was carried over.
And thanks, Dan. Dan always helps. The mom is on a two wins so far out of 2 races. She's going back, trying to go back up that leaderboard again this week. Exactly. Yeah. So gotta watch out there. She knows her winners.
Rex agrees with you, Sean, that Lord Abroad predicts she'll go off at 4 to 5.
Especially with the Bug Boy, who can really get horses out of gates well. I think that could be a real tough combination.
All right, so they're going to the gate for leg 3. Good luck to everybody with what you are playing. I decided on a 5-6 exacta box. Sean's going 1-5-6 exacta box. This is the start of the pick 5 up at Assiniboia Downs. Trusty does say he's going to check in with us after the 2-year-old race, so we have that to look forward to.
Okay.
I'm going to mark down how many viewers we have now and see how many he chases away by the time he gets on.
Yeah. He's probably betting track B in Australia. Trying to see.
Yeah, exactly. So they'll load him up, and we will throw it up to Kurt up at Assiniboia Downs for race 3 here on Monday night.
He's a doozy. Leads the 2-year-olds into the starting 8. Next up, the current 6 to
let's see if my
5
prediction
favorite.
is correct. I think
Just
the
let
2
me
and
at
3 will
'em.
go out for the lead, and it will be totally, could be totally wrong.
Banker's Day will be the next to go in. Commando's Last Dance's turn. Just 2 left to load. Vindictive Miss. Now just waiting on Mobile Creek, and the field will be set. They're all in. They're at the post. And they're off. In the CTHS sales stake. From the inside, that's Mobile Creek. And just let me at them on the rail. These 2 are going to set the early pace. 3 wide. Vindictive Miss. Also on that lead, settled back Commando's Last Dance with Daisy's a Doozy. And Banker's Day, the early trailer, about 7 off the lead. The opening quarter, a quick 22 and 3. Just let me at 'em. Now opens up the advantage by a half a length. Vindictive Miss back in second. Daisy's a Doozy. Making up ground in third. Commando's Last Dance has yet to fire through a half in 46 and 1. Just let me at 'em. Still going at it on the front end. Vindictive Miss not giving up. Looking for a little room is Daisy's a Doozy. Just let me at 'em. Is going to take the 35th running of the CTHS sales stake. Second best, Vindictive Miss. Third's going to go to Daisy's a Doozy. And fourth to Commando's Last Dance.
Second,
I
third,
don't
and
usually
fourth.
say horses look slow as they're coming down the stretch, but
Yeah, that was.
let me
that
tell you,
was-
those look
that was
about
taking
as slow as you
forever.
could get to.
Yeah, that was taking forever. Oh my God.
And they were
That one was going
laboring
that
home
one was flying
as
out the room. Yeah. Great job, whoever had the
they
2.
were laboring home, as we say.
They were, yeah, yeah.
So the 2, just let me at 'em, not
Yes.
Justle, whatever I said. Justle meet 'em. The 6, Vindictive Miss, gets up for second place. So not a bad
Yeah.
value play there for me for the
Yeah,
6.
Charles got the super.
Nice, Charles. We'll see what that comes back. Let us know how much you played on that. Was that $1 super?
Great job.
Yeah, 2615. I think that's actually, is that exactly how he wrote it in?
Yeah, I think it was.
I gotta
1,
go
2,
back
7.
and see.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Let me see. Where is he? He
Frank
went
had 1, 2, 6. That will definitely help you, Frank. Yeah, 6, 2, 5, 1 box. Yeah.
Close. But you got a
Very
box.
nice. Yeah, yeah. Frank had 1, 2, 6 in the stable duel. That will definitely help.
Nice, Frank. And Malathat got place and show, I assume, maybe on the 1 on Daisy. That's right. So nice job. Malathat, hopefully you've survived from your birthday last week on Manitoba
Yes,
Derby Day.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
As we wait.
They got second, third, and fourth.
That's okay. That's good for stable.
Yeah, no, yeah. That two just wouldn't give up. I thought we had them surrounded.
We did. Unfortunately, they crawled home
Yeah, they did. They crawled home. Yeah.
Maybe it was my internet. We'll blame it on my internet. That's not how slow those horses really are.
But a great horse race for sure. They were.
So the 4-5 favorite gets home with the 7-1 in second and 19-1. Daisy's a doozy. Gets up for third. 2-6-1 is your official results, and they will we'll post the final times. Sean, what's new in your world? How was your racing weekend? Anywhere you paid attention to this weekend? I know you'd mentioned the Arlington Millions.
Yeah.
Any love up at Saratoga? Where were you this weekend?
Yeah, I was all over the board this weekend. I was watching the Saratoga races. Very impressed with Norm's horse. I thought he ran Rhymes Chimes. Just ran a very impressive. Ricardo just had the hands like pressed and didn't need to do it, and he just took off. So I think Rhymes Chimes could be a very interesting horse to watch going forward. I did watch some Del Mar this weekend and some very nice year-olds, as Alex said. Some Baffert, some not, but definitely some names to watch in the future for sure. And at the Arlington Million, some great races down there. Even Appleby got beat, and great job by Javier. Had a big day down there, Castellano. So some great races.
He did, and I love to see my boy Set Piece come back and win again. This great story of Casa Creed and Set Piece, the older horses.
2 7-year-olds. Unbelievable. Great to see.
Yes, and so I do the Beat Bick tournament. I don't know if anybody does that out there. Let me know if you do. It's Steve Bick, who a lot of you probably know from the morning show on Sirius XM, and he does a little tournament where each weekend he picks a race on Saturday and Sunday, and if you pick the winner in one of those races, whether you pick his pick or your own, you get qualified into a free tournament that happens in 3 weeks, I believe. And that tournament will send one person to the NHC. So if you have the opportunity to jump on, if you just Google Beat Bick, that's BYK, you can get in early. You still got 3 weeks, so that's 6 races. If you just can pick one winner out of those 6 races, then you will make it to the finals, and the finals will be your typical win place horse tourneys type style pick and pray, and the winner of that tournament will win a NHC seat on behalf of at the races with Steve Bick. So check that out. I got awesome. Through with Steve Bick. I got through with Set Piece on Saturday. So excited about that. Let's give you your payouts for race 3 up at Assiniboia Downs. Let's see, Charles, your super. If you had $1, pays $78.65.
Nice, Charles.
2-6 exacta pays $8.40, and Just Let Me Add Him pays $3.60 on top. Vindictive Miss $4.70 for your place.
Todd, good job, my friend. You were close.
And with that, we have Trusty on deck to provide us with his detailed accounting of how much he's given back to the Trust the Profits crowd.
Yes,
on the 40%.
Yep.
How much, Trusty? How much have you given away from those that have reached out to you looking for that 40% money back?
We're at the 100 million mark, and we're closing on $1 billion. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, good. Excellent.
You're like Pulte. You know that guy Pulte on Twitter who just gives away money? Pulte. It's like Pulte and Trusty.
That is Dennis. Yep.
No, it's good to be here tonight, guys. I had some stuff to take care of earlier. I want to say too, just to start out, thanks to everybody who reached out with that with my buddy winning his first race. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
and that was what I was doing earlier. So me and him kind of did a interview that should be coming out in a couple of days on somebody else's website. That's not Trust the Profits. Sorry, guys. Sorry, but
it's okay. You can tease it. We're all friends.
Give
it some love.
It should be on the press box, the Louisville press box, I think. So,
Gene, awesome.
Yeah, Gene's, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fantastic.
So, hopefully, I got everything technology working with that I sent over to him for an article. So, yeah. Other than that, doing good. Glad to be here as always.
Trusty, can you give us the background story on your buddy and name
Yeah,
and how long
yeah.
you've known them? And let's hear it.
Oh, well, since we got plenty of time, thankfully. So I've known him for about 6 years, 7 years. He's been a jockey for 4. He got his first win with his father as the owner trainer, so that's pretty cool too. He's been struggling with a lot of things personally, injuries, small things. Well, one was major, but yeah, finally breaks through and gets the win.
He got seriously hurt, correct? The Turfway?
Yeah, he got seriously hurt at one point. Yeah. But at least in the interview we did, he didn't really want to go into it, which I understand. Totally understand that.
Totally understand.
But yeah, so it's good to see somebody like that break through and finally get there, right?
And he's where? Belterra? Is that where he's at?
Yeah, he's at Belterra. He's got a mount at Ellis this week as well. But yeah, Belterra, Indiana, Kentucky, that whole circuit.
Okay, excellent.
So,
okay, yeah.
Well, thank you. But thank you guys again for everybody who reached out and everything. Appreciate it.
Yeah. What was his name, Trusty? I missed his name.
Jonathan Kurtzinger.
Kurtzinger. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Well, we wish him all the best of luck. And he's been riding for 4 years. And how did you meet him? How do you know him?
He's been a full-time jockey for 4 years. He was a Gout boy. That's when I met him. My dad actually worked with his dad when my dad was a hot walker and his dad was a groom. So that's how we met. And then, basically that became our friendship. Was our dads work together and we just hang out and try to do everything that we can in horse racing.
That's
you know,
great. Yeah, it's great.
That's fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
All right. And so we can't have a live stream without bringing you some of the best stable duel players. We lost Matt recently, so we figured we better. We know Trusty's in last, and we know Sean's near the top.
Yeah.
But we figured.
Trust.
Look at
this.
Tim's here. Look at this. The boy, we're bringing in the ace. We're bringing in the close. Love it.
What's up, Tim?
Not a whole lot. Look, I figured if you could have Trusty on a Monday night, I better just jump in here with all the big dogs and meet the star himself.
You better help me out, Tim. You gotta help me out.
I love it. How's everybody doing?
Doing great.
We're doing great.
Yourself?
Doing wonderful. So far, things are going pretty well at Assiniboia tonight. Pretty good night.
How are things settling in on the school front, Tim?
We're settling in now. We're good to go. It just takes a little bit to get running and get everything in place, lesson plans and all the stuff you got to do in the beginning and just getting everything set for the kids. But
yeah, gotcha.
Runs like a well-oiled machine.
Once you get going, that's like this show. We run like a well-oiled machine as well. And so, Tim, I'm so glad to have you. I love hearing new voices on shows that I do. I've seen you on the streams with Sean, but we haven't really had the chance to fully connect and talk horses together. So I'm interested to know, first of all, you are a huge stable duel player and you're extremely good at it. And you get the swag, you get the free shirts. I'm still looking for that. I'm still looking for my elusive first win. I've got some seconds and thirds, but have not got over the hump for that big first place. So first of all, I'm just curious, when you're looking at a card overall to put together a stable, do you start with the highest price horses and decide if you're going to fade or use them? Or what's your strategy? What's the first step you take to attacking a stable duel lineup?
It comes down to capping the card, right? You got to handicap first and you got to pick the horses that you want. And then what I typically do is when I've talked about this before, I use daily racing form for my past performances, and I love using the formulator functions. And what I do is when I go into daily racing form, you can set up your default view. And the one thing that I do on my default view is I turn all odds off. I don't want to be influenced by the odds of the horses. So when I look at daily racing form, I want to go through and look at what horse I think can win. And a lot of times when you look at it in the end, I mean, the horse is 4 to 5. in the morning line. And other times I look at a horse and he's 12-1 and sometimes 20-1. And I'm like, I like the horse on paper. I'm not going to let that influence me. I think this horse has a chance for whatever reason. And that's what I'm going to do. So when I look at stable duel, though, what I typically do is I go through, and just like you did tonight with capping the card, where you said that in the second race that the 7 horse was your play of the night. I agree with that. And that's where I start. You look at this last race, I believe it was, and we had a horse that was a $10,000 horse, right? No, it's coming up in the next race. In the next race, the 5 is a $10,000 horse, right? So when you look at horses like that, I don't let that influence me. I'm not going to take that horse on top. Now, if I like him on top and he's my bet of the night, I may take it. I say, this is a good win. This is going to be 60 points. So you've got to look at that. But right. I agree with you. That too was pretty much a lock in my opinion. And that's why I went with the 7 in that race. And then I fill out my card from there. And then what I typically do is when it gets down, even all your top picks, you obviously can't get those. So after I've picked my top 2 or 3, then I go in and I look at the bottom 2 or 3. And when I say bottom 2 or 3, what I do is before I go in and fill in any more than my top 2 or 3 picks, I'm like, who are 2 or 3 value picks that I think are going to be in the money? And then from there, I fill out my stable based on how I've handicapped it and how much money I have left. I take the best horses I've got left. What a lot of people will do is just go through and spend all their money, and then they get down to it and they got to go through and pick 2, 3, 4 horses that are $1,000 or less. And then to me, that's not the way to do it, because sometimes, I may have, like tonight, I think I had a $250 horse I really liked. So I picked it. And then, but other nights, your lower horses may be 1,000 and 3,000. So what happens in those cases, and I could go on all night and make this a whole show, but I'll just finish with this. And that is, sometimes it gets down to where you're like, okay, I don't have enough money even after that. So here's what I'm going to do. I think this horse is going to win this race, but I also think this horse that I can save a little bit of money and spend $3,000 or $5,000 on is going to get me a good second or third place. I've got the horse that's going to win. I just can't afford it.
Yeah. Nick's great.
It's about finishing the money and trying to keep green figures and stay away from those -30s.
Yeah, that's where I struggle though. That's because I do a lot of green figures and I don't get the winners, and that's where I get. I figure you need about 3 or 4 winners on a card to really have a legit shot, and so. Yeah. I am the king of like, look, I got all green numbers. How good is that? Oh, you finished 19th and 21st. It's like, okay, I won nothing. So on to tomorrow. Right. I actually have a horse who's only $100 who, similar to what you said, I picked him not because of anything other than I think this horse has a shot, and that is Mosey's on Maine, the number 5 in race 5. So we'll get to that as we get closer. That was a 25-1 shot where I said, you know what? I actually like this horse and I know he's going to be cheap, and that's going to allow me. Because a horse like Acadian Storm, who I said was my personal best bet, sometimes I shy away from that because of the cost. And I remember when I did my stable duels theory with Matt, which is the first video I ever did, I asked him that question, but well, how much money do you think about spending on a horse? And he said, well, if it's your best bet, don't be scared to spend that money if you know that you're going to get those 60 points. And so there's a lot of little tweaks that you can make to putting together your stables, and I think that's great feedback. From one of the best stable duel players that we have in the game. So with that, we'll transition right into what you said here, which was we do have a even money favorite, the number 5 Double Barrel Delight. What I wrote down on this horse was that I highlighted this horse has been favored 4 out of the last 5 races and didn't win any of them. So that was where my little stable duel in my mind went, well, I don't want to use this horse in my stable because I'm spending a lot of money and you're not really guaranteed that 60 points on a horse that is 1-1 on the morning line. So, Tim, did you use Double Barrel Delight, or did you go elsewhere in this race? I am assuming you went elsewhere.
So interesting. Double Barrel Delight, as I was looking at the horse, it was one that he was not in my top 3 or 4 picks. And so then when I went, I had several picks on this card that I thought had a chance at lower, and we've already seen a couple of those. But as a result of that, when I got down to my money at the end, I was looking at those mediocre horses, middle middle priced horses, should I say, not mediocre horses, but middle priced horses. And as I was picking them, I was going to go with the 4 in here, Dawn of the Devil. And as I picked that, I looked and I still had like $3,000 or $4,000. Now, here's one thing that I would always say to all players: don't worry about having money left. It's not about spending every penny. But in this particular case, I was avoiding picking the 5 because I didn't want to spend the money up front. But when I got down to it and I had that horse and I had filled out my stable and I had the money, I said, you know what? I am going to go ahead and take this. So I do have the 5 in here. I totally agree with your perspective on the horse, but I just think that in this particular case, and again, like I'd said earlier, that chow factor. You know, if you're going to play stable duel for a breed match, you got to pick her horses that are ridden by Chow, because she loves Chow.
Yeah.
That's right. Sean, where did you land on in race 4?
I just singled the 4, Dawn of the Devil, and the reason is Carl Anderson is doing very good across the board. He's having a very solid year. This Tarasenko, I like this kid. This guy's been riding some excellent rides here for us, and especially with the 5, as you said, always a great stable duel player because he gets you points, but he just doesn't like to win. And this horse, first time out, ran against him last time and only lost by 5.5 in his first race. So I think he can only move up against this group. So when I looked at the rest of the group, I didn't think they were that solid. So I said, the horse shows promise, can move up on the second. So I just used the 4 as my single here in terms of stable duel. And I'm also betting them across here in race 4.
Yeah, and that's one angle I love on these maiden races, when you have horses that you've seen enough of. You know, they've run 7, 8, 9 times, and then you have a couple horses that have only maybe raced once. But if they've shown early speed, those are immediately attracted to me. And so that's why I went with the 4, Dawn of the Devil, as my top pick, and the 3, Freedom Convoy, who basically has that exact same angle as first out, showed early speed, just couldn't get it. And it was actually down on the rail, a place where, you know, Sean, at Assiniboia Downs hasn't been the best place to be, at least through some of this meet. And so getting 8-1 right now is 6-1. That's where my value play went with the 3. So I was 4 and the 3 here. And then I wrote down, pay attention to the 6 if they're taking money. Morning line 6-1 at currently 7-1. So it was 9-2 earlier, but now it's 7-1.
She's right there.
Trustee, where did you end up, Trustee, in here?
So for me, I'm doing a little research here behind the scenes just to be curious. So on the 6, as you were saying, the firster has solid breeding as a Kentucky bred, which I don't know how it wound up here, but it's very interesting. So the horse was sold for $16,000. That's what it says on the program, but RNA'd for $34,000 in a future sale. Also had works at Fairgrounds back in February. Don't know where that came from, but okay. And then started working out here at Assiniboia. So I think I'm going to use that, especially getting Whitehall aboard, because I think if, you know, Whitehall might have got on, either there's something in the closet that Jerry Brown has for him, or he chose this horse. So I'm just going to take that risk. I also like the force breeding as well. Second time starter. Was bet decently enough and just faded away after showing speed. So I'm going to take an exacta 4, 6 with, I guess I'll take the 2, 4, 5, 6 for second. I cost $6 for a dollar.
There you go.
I think you just named every horse. What are you doing? You pause. You go 6-4 with the 2, and then you go 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like, well, you're just sneaking them in there, Trustee. What's the bet? Come on.
No.
Confused
$1 exacta.
Yeah.
Yeah. $1 exacta 4, 6 with the 2, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. Much better. Enunciate, Dennis. Enunciate.
And by the way, Freedom Convoy is a wicked strong baby. So I always root for the wicked strong babies.
We got a new viewer in the house here, Sean. Your new
Matthew.
buddy, my buddy Matt from up in Saratoga.
Hey,
There's
Matt. How are you, buddy?
A good friend of mine.
Yeah.
We started doing shows long ago when radio was on the internet. Rex is going pretty ice cold here for his pick 4-5 with the 8, with the 4, with everybody in that last. We've talked about that last race being pretty wide open with 10 horses. So you could go a lot of opinions. So if you're right, Rex, good luck. Hope you can get your pick 3 right, and then you'll be all set. All right, let me pull up the video. I have to keep pausing it because it screws up my internet. Let's see where we're at. We're 0 minutes to post. We'll show you who Kurt and Stretch like, if we can get this to work for us.
Okay.
There we go. So they're both on the 4 as well. So we have a pretty unanimous vote here on number 4, Dawn of the Devil. I like the 4. Sean likes the 4. Kurt and Stretch also like the 4. Tim, do you do a lot of parimutuel betting as well on top of Stable Duel? Is this a race you would play?
I do. You know, maidens are amongst my favorite races to bet. I really love maiden races. And I'll just say this. I typically, a horse like the 5, you look at that horse, and I like staying off of horses that just seem to not be able to win. But I went back and I watched all those races. And the other interesting thing to me about this was, if you look at the 5, all his races, he did start out with a 4.5 and a 5 furlong race. But since he's gotten better this year, he's been all 6 furlongs for the most part, other than his first race there this year. But he's been mostly 6 furlongs. I think he's going to like the cutback. I think you're going to see speed this time out. And I really like the 5 on top. So I do see the 4. Honestly, I think it's a solid 5-4 exact in here. That's what I'm going to bet, is a straight exacta 5-4. But I'm going to put together a pick 4 ticket real quick as well, and I'll post that in the chat.
Yeah. Stretch, by the way, went with Dennis here with the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then his
Oh, and his pick 4 ticket?
Yeah.
Well, he knows he gets 40%
he listened to
back.
Dennis and went everybody but the 1.
Yeah. He knows he gets 40% back from watching Trust the Profits, so he's going to cover himself.
So he's loading up
and
bait.
Then he's going to email Trusty afterwards. So here we go. We're coming up on race 4 up at Assiniboia Downs Monday night, August 14th. Welcome to all of you. And a shout out, if you haven't hit that like or subscribe button, please do. Also, keep in mind that as we transition through the fall here, once Monday Night Football starts, we're going to move over to Tuesday nights. So we'll set those alarms. We'll send those reminders, but we're not going to try and compete with the Monday Night Football. We know you probably have a lot of people interested in that as well. Not the CFL, the NFL, just to be clear. So we'll move over to Tuesday nights. But for right now, we are looking here at race 4 as we come up to the gate. I like the 4, 8 to 5. I like the 4 a lot.
Hammered, by the way. The 4 is
and that makes me step back my excitement about the 4. 4-1 was enticing. 9 to 5, maybe not so much. I actually. I'd be intrigued by the 3, but with what Tim said, which is Tim's analysis about the 5, I think that's where that experience and that early speed may outshine the 3 and the 4. So we talked about the 5 not being able to get there. I like those lightly raced maidens who've shown early speed, which is what you get from the 3 and the 4. But if all 3 of those horses go at it, my opinion is now worried that the 5 is going to overtake the 3 and the 4 maybe late. So we'll see how it plays out. Your pick 4 pool is growing up to $54,000. Alex likes the 6 here. Gotta love that girl. That's the first time starter. Sorry, by Gervin.
Yeah, Gervin's having off to a good start for
And Mitchell took the 5 in Stable Duel. So let's throw it up to Kurt for the call for race 4 at Assiniboia Downs. The 3 is rearing up.
Convoy fractious in the starting gate.
Oh, the Wicked Strong baby's acting up. Daddy wasn't too bad.
Happens a lot with Trusty he joins. Tim Hughes has thrown his pick 4 for all of you that want to
Yes.
jump in on that. He's singling the 5, so he's playing that opinion that he talked about, and singling the 6 in race 6. Who was that, Tim?
The
Maybell.
Devil now ready to move
Maybell. That was a
in.
horse I liked too.
Double Barrel Delight, the
Good
current
luck,
3-2
everybody.
favorite. Walks up and in. Just 2 left to load. That girl, the first time starter, steps up and in. And now just waiting on I Am Mila to the outside. The field is set. They're at the post. Ashes to Ash is a little fractious. Waiting for Ashes to settle down. Freedom Convoy. Also
The
a
2
little
and 3 are
fractious.
both going crazy.
Yeah, the Wicked Strong babies. Yeah.
At the post,
Both
and
into
they're
each
off.
other.
Breaking
each
a
other.
little slow was Dawn of the Devil.
Yeah.
From the inside, Freedom Convoy shows early speed with Dawn of the Devil, who recovered nicely now on the outside. In between horses, gotta love that girl. The first-time starter, I Am Mila. 4 wide, Double Barrel Delight, the favorite, settled back in 5th. And it's Ashes to Ashes, and Dub St. Angel is about 8 off the lead. The opening quarter, 23-1, and it's Dawn of the Devil with the lead by a half a length. Double Barrel Delight starting to make the move on the outside to engage the leader. I Am Mila also right there, 3 wide. They hit the head of the lane, and Double Barrel Delight now takes over as the leader. Trying to fight back on the inside, Dawn of the Devil. And to the inside, I Am Mila. Double Barrel Delight will get it done today. Second best, I Am Mila. Close for third between Ashes to Ashes. And gotta love that.
Wow.
Tim gets his single. Good job, Tim.
Yeah, it just looked like the right spot. It was a little soft. That I Am Mila, I'm kicking myself. I that was a horse I had in stable doing. I pulled away from that horse, but I thought that horse had a chance.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
4
great
is
call.
just
So that
Go ahead, Colin. Yeah.
no, I was just wrapping up the morning line. Even money favorite gets home there. It's actually easier than I think it looked, and the 3 certainly with that fractious in the gate then came out and showed some really speed, but tired pretty quickly. So maybe something you want to keep a note of how that 3 performs, or when you're watching pre-race, how that 3 kind of acts. That 3 Freedom Convoy. Bits of Lemon Drop was in that last race, who came back to run a solid second on August 8th. That was a note also that I had on that Freedom Convoy, who didn't end up really running after slowed up in the stretch. So good call for Tim, who gets his single home.
Yeah, great job, Tim. One thing I see in Canada.
Oh,
go ahead, Dennis.
I was just gonna say, it felt weird to me watching the 6 because that's after I knew the 4 was done. I started watching the 6. Really, I was watching the 6 the whole time. Why did it feel like the horse was there and then like the engine shut off? Like the car died midway through the turn and then got reignited through the halfway down the stretch. Like it looked like the 6 was going to get beat by what, 12, 15 lengths, and then all of a sudden, it only loses by a length and a half or so. Where'd that come from? I think that's going to be an interesting horse next time out.
The 6 and 7 both were closing late there on the leader.
One thing I can say, which it drives me nuts, and it happens in Canadian racing a lot. I don't like if you miss the break. I hate jockeys that you just feel the need to rush the horse to the front if you miss the gate, right? Let the horse run first before that 4 missed the gate, and he just rushed him right to the lead. He had nothing in the stretch, and that happens a lot up there. Where if they miss the break, they feel like they have to just rush right to the front, and the horse has nothing in the stretch.
One thing I've noticed in watching races when I go back and do the handicapping and watch races back is I think there's a huge outside speed bias at Assiniboia right now. Every horse that I've noticed running on the inside seems like they're running in quicksand. So they just really start backing up. And if you notice that 4 had the inside trip, and if you wonder why he backed up, I think that was a worse race than he ran last time out. It wouldn't surprise me if that was a lower speed figure. And I just think the inside is dead at Assiniboia right now.
Yeah.
Well, they all must have been on the inside in race 3.
Well, and it's been dead
home. Go ahead, Dennis.
Well, it's been dead all meet too. I remember the first week we watched it and said, why are the jockeys all swinging way wide? Like to the 7 path, 6 path. But when you see everybody do that as a jockey, that tells you that they know what the track's doing. And it's been like that the whole meet, except like a handful of nights, like maybe like less than 10 nights out of the whole meet so far where the speed is really held up onto the rail. Everything else has been either speed on the outside or closers way, way, way on the outside. So I completely agree with that.
Here's your prices for race 4 up at Assiniboia Downs. 5-7 exacta pays $9.70. 5-7-6 try $44.20. And your superfecta 5-7-6-2 for $1 pays out $94. Ashes to Ashes gets up for 4th. Matt says this horse may need a little bit of
more
distance.
distance. It'll be tough. Yep.
So one that you might want to just make a note on your past performances about is Ashes to Ashes. All right, so let's see. As we move on here, we're looking at race 5, and maybe what we can do is put together a late pick 3 for the people. They have the 20-cent pick 3 up at Assiniboia Downs, which takes care of race 5, 6, and 7. Trusty, we can't take all in race 7. You gotta make an opinion. All right, so don't give me this 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 like you like to do. We gotta give the people.
Wait a minute. If I single on the first leg and I single on the next leg, I still can't take all the last leg. No, I'm kidding. I just had to throw that out there just to be that person.
Only Rex can do that, who I believe is the one that went 5, 8, 4 all for his $1 pick 4. So Rex is alive through leg 1. Let's start here with Rex. Let's start with the next race for the people. We'll start with race 5. So Rex obviously singles the 8. I hope it wasn't based on what I said, Rex. I hope you had your own opinion on Mighty Frisky, but I do love Mighty Frisky here in this spot. I talked about last race. Sugar Daddy Jack was the horse that finished second in that race. Sugar Daddy Jack came back to win tonight. Dot and Dash is the horse that I think is the little engine that just can't get to the finish line first, who finished third in that last race. Ran pretty strong in the first leg tonight. This horse is always close when the race is 5 and 6 furlongs. This jockey trainer combo is 27%. We talked about Nault and Chow earlier in the chat about how strong they are. Me and Matt DeSantis always talk about 3-year-olds where the speed figures continue to go up. Don't expect them to bounce until they do bounce. And so 8, Mighty Frisky, was a horse that I was mighty high on. You like that? Tonight. Yeah. Let's start with you, Sean. Where were you in race 5? And we'll talk through it. Maybe you can tell me, just think about the pick 3 as you talk through the race and who you might want to include. And we'll put together a little group ticket here.
Sure. I had passed on like a lot of these horses. So like I didn't use anybody in Stable Duel for this race. This was a tricky one, especially like the one who's 2-1. I didn't like him at all as a 2-1 favorite. But if I was with you on the 8, I think the 8's a very live horse, and you did a great job explaining on that one. And for a long shot, I looked at the 6. Henry's in control. Jennifer Jordan's having a horrible meet, right now. obviously, but maybe this is the type of horse versus this field. Maybe this could be the type where she gets like a second, a third, or something, or even comes on. That would have been my long shot play in like a stable duel format. But the only one that I really had any interest in was your eight. But in terms of stable duel, I didn't play anybody because I really didn't like the race.
And I mentioned earlier a horse that a long shot that I liked was the 5, Mosey's on Main. This horse is broke slow and ran into some trouble. But I think since coming back this 4-year-old season, the speed figures have increased over last year. And if it can get back to what it did in September of last year, that third place finish with only a length behind where the speed figure was kind of high, I thought this horse maybe had a shot of a long shot. So we're not going to include that yet. I just wanted to sneak that in before I turn it over to Trusty and who you liked in race number 5.
I really like the 1, but the 1's dead on the board, and I think that has to do with the way the track's been playing tonight as well. I like the 8. Like you said before, that horse does look pretty good. I think those two are like the most like logical like thing. The 7's interesting to me. Second time at Assiniboia, not getting any love on the tote board currently, which has me a little worried. But I think that's a little interesting that second time at Assiniboia. I noticed some of these horses do improve sometimes second time here. So yeah, I think I'm just 1, 7, and 8.
Okay. Tim.
So I think clearly the 8 is probably the class of this lot, and I can easily see the 8 win, and the speed figures I think are head and shoulders above everybody else. The 7 on back form, he's only he had a little break in the one race at Assiniboia. I looked at him a little bit, and then at 3-1 morning line and kind of threw him out. I didn't like him. Where I win in here, and this was a value play in stable duel, and again, I can see the 8 winning, but where I win and a horse I really like in here is the 6. I really like the 6 horse in here. Henry's in control. Sean and I talk a lot on Thursday nights about horse for the course. This horse does really well up at Assiniboia. If you look, the horse has had 19 races here at Assiniboia. That's the only place he's raced. But out of those, the horse has been in the money 14 of 19 times. He's 2 out of 3 at the distance, second and first and a third. And I do think that the horse has a chance in here because the 8 again is the class, but I think the 6. If we look at all the other races, the favorite, the best horse doesn't win every race, and I think if anybody's going to beat the 8 in here, it's the 6. As far as one more horse to throw in, if we're looking at a pick 3 ticket, I would put the 3 in there because I think. Whitehall on this horse for Zayat Stables. I think this is another horse that this is third off a layoff. That's a form cycle that I like to watch. The third off a layoff is always good. Another thing that I always watch and talk about a lot is you don't see a lot of works on horses up at Assiniboia Downs, and this horse since his last race, he's got a solid 3 furlong workout on the track. And while it may not be anything that jumps off of the paper, the fact that he had a workout and it's a solid workout, I think the 3 can figure here for a price as well.
And you hit that angle. I think it was last week in the chat you were talking about that, and I've actually paid attention to that now too. About it was I think it was 2 weeks ago you had mentioned that horses that sneak in workouts up there, while all the other ones are basically just running every week or two.
Yeah.
Tim, what if I told you that 7 was currently 13-1?
It doesn't surprise me at all because that's exactly what I said. Was I looked at the horse on back form. I thought the horse fits here, and then the more I looked at him, I said I didn't get the 3-1 at all, and I tossed him. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah. So you don't like him at a higher price either.
I don't.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
The one thing I would say, Colin, and as we all throw together our ticket here, I think several can win this race. I think several can win the last race. If we can all agree on a horse or 2 in the second, I think there is a solid single. I don't know how everybody feels about that, but that could get us a decent pick 3, being able to spread in 2 of the 3 races and the 2 that are very competitive and single horse in the middle.
All right. I love it. So you know how to transition. You know how to transition this.
Coming back to me real quick. I know I didn't want to end this off on this because I just changed something. So the ticket I put together, I just wrote down a bunch of horses I thought was priced like you had to use it. Maybe some of them at a price, some of them had to be included. And so I had to cut out the 7 horse here, like you all said. That's the least one that I like, and I think now after really looking back at it, I think I could get through with the 1 and the 8. So yeah, I like 1 and 8 here.
All right, well, let's move to leg 2, Trusty, and start with you on who you like in. When I say leg 2, we're talking about race 6 because we're putting together a pick 3 together.
Yeah.
And I know me and Tim are going to be on the same horse. Where are you?
Well, for betting wise, like outright, I'm gonna bet a horse that I don't think you all are gonna know right yet. But so I'm gonna go over the logical ones. 3 looks simple. It's Whitehall. It is what it is. The 4 looks pretty good on the class level. Second time in for this distance. Missed by a head last time out. The 6 might get a good stalking trip and maybe pass like the 4, like right at the end. Or this other horse that I hope hangs on. The 2, Giddy Up Zoe, 15-1, was beat by a head at 3-1, 2 back for the same condition, and was dead heated for second with another horse. Don't know really what happened to that last race. Maybe, I mean, the only thing I can think of is her worst 2 finishes. Basically, I think was at the 5.5 furlong distance. So I think getting back to 6 might get an easy lead and try to take them gate to wire, and might stay outside like we just said. Might could go right outside in that little path. That's a horse I'm reaching for, though.
I did actually like that horse as well. Sean, where were you in race 6?
I love the 4, Loaded Blood, and for Wendy Anderson. And the reason I like this, I actually had the 6. I like if I was doing the pick 3, I would put 4 and 6. I think they're the horses to beat because a Lipstick just likes to come in second and third. I mean, he could be like the last horse. I mean, but I just don't like to win. The thing I like about the 4 is reloads in Canada are very good sire. But this horse went from optional 10 down to 5,000 non-winners of 4 lifetime and almost won. The 6 is coming out of non-winners of 3, and I originally had the 6 in my stable duel, but I went to the 4 instead of the 6 only because I like the fact that the 4 put up a 59 in the non-winners of 4. Whereas some of these horses are coming out of non-winners of 3, and I think that's an interesting step up. So and the Bug Boy Abley has been riding so well this meet. I think with his ability to get horses out of the gate, I think this 4 will be very tough.
All right, Tim. I think we're going to have trouble here getting to agreement on one horse. Where are you?
I'm on the 6. The only thing I'll say, and just to keep it going quickly, is I totally agree with Sean on the 3. This horse has had 10 races at Assiniboia. He's got 4 seconds, 3 thirds. He's 7 out of 10, and he's 0 wins. So this horse is not a top play. So I don't think we need to play the 3 on top. So it sounds to me though like 4 and 6, and I don't know what else, but. The horses are heading to the track, and we've got 5 minutes, and we still got 1 race for the pick 3. So go.
All right. I liked the 6 as well and the 2. So it sounds like we're 2, 4, 6. I can leave the 2 if we really want to do 4, 6, or we go with the 2 for price. Let's go to the last leg. Trusty, can you be quick?
He likes 1 through 12.
Yeah, done. All right, you're Sean. Sean, you're up.
All right, quick. Well, I'm just going to say the horses I like, and they're all. Yeah, 1 through 12. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and on my pick 3 it would be $9.60.
Yeah. Hold on, let me
Actually,
write them
I
all
will
down.
say this: I love the 4.
Okay.
I will say this: I love the 4. 25-1. I love the 4.
I love the 4 too,
That's
so we're
one
not
I
going to
think
take
has
that one
to
off.
be included.
Sean, last leg. Where were you?
I like the 6 looking high. I know
Me
this
too.
horse doesn't like to win a lot, but I think this horse this could be the group. Every time he meets 5,000 and drops down, I think this is a horse that he gets Terran Senko on coming from behind. I think he could be very live. The other one I don't know. I don't think he's going to be 20-1 is North Fork. I don't know how this horse is. The 5 is 20-1 in the morning line off the 2 very impressive races. The mile, just throw it out. He didn't like it, and now he's back to the sprint distance, and and buy no sticks with him. I think he's 4 for 5 out of the money, and I think this is a very value.
Tim, where were you?
So I like the 6 on top, but I will tell you that this is the play that I said earlier. I took a $250 horse as one of my plays of the night when I was doing my stable duel. After I picked my 3 on top, that was the next horse I put in my stable. That was number 5 North Fork.
Yeah.
Totally agree with what Sean just said. That horse should not be those odds, and I doubt he will be.
Yeah.
But I like the horse, think he has a chance. But I do think that the 6 on top is the horse I like the most.
All right, we're going to go 4, 5, 6 in the third leg, so we can cross that one off. We're good there.
Yeah.
Leg 2, we can afford, I guess, to go. What are we good going 2, 4, 6?
Yep. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
Trying to get my bet in while we talk. So now, hold on. 4, 5, 6. Middle leg. I'm going to go 2, 4, 6.
Yeah, if you're only doing 20 cents, it's fine.
I like that too. All right, so race 5.
And for me, yeah, and
race 5, I'm thinking for me it would be 5, 6, 7, 8. But I'm worried, Tim. You said make sure you include the 3, so I'll include the 3, and that's a $9 ticket for 20 cents. So that's
that's great. There you go.
That's going to be my bet. So this is I'll type it in the chat. Tim, you can 3, 5,
3, 5, 6, 7, 8 with 2, 4, 6 with 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
There you go.
And it's a $9 bet for a 20-cent ticket.
Yeah. $3 tickets are painful for me right now.
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry for all the multiple
Yeah.
chats. I don't know why that does that. But they are on the track, and let's take a look at what we're getting for a price here. In the first leg of this pick 3, we went 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Probably not the best ticket structure using 6 to 5 with the 4 others. Generally, I would maybe just go 3, 5, 6, 7. But we really feel comfortable. We all talked about Mighty Frisky, and that was the horse that I really was high on. So this is where I kind of struggle, at least in my personal ticket structure. We're 2 minutes to post. Anything on the odds boards that you guys
Well, I was going to say, to me, in this pick 3 sequence, okay, for you all, or like the group ticket, it's like, okay, get alive after the first leg to get to the last leg, right? Or for me, I thought, well, this race was pretty simple. I like 2 horses. Go deep in the middle leg just to get alive to the last leg. You know, I think that's kind of what we both see it as, is we like a lot of price horses that shouldn't be what they are and getting overlooked in the last leg. Is that kind of what I'm thinking, or is that, off?
It's off.
I don't think the middle leg wasn't really a big
I knew I was a little off.
Yeah. Dennis,
I think the middle leg we're pretty.
I will tell you the
pretty
No,
confident.
I know. I meant for me.
Go ahead, Tim.
The only thing that really surprises me in here is, the 1 was a morning line favorite here at 2 to 1, and then the 7 was a 3 to 1 morning line favorite. The 8, who we all liked, was the third choice at 4 to 1.
Yeah.
And look, this 8's a favorite, but this 8 is not a 7 to 5 horse. So to me, the way that I wager, and I'm perfectly okay with that pick 3 ticket, it's not that, but the way that I wager and what I'm going to wager on in this race is I am not playing that 8 on top at 7 to 5. And as a matter of fact, I may not play the 8 in the first 2 places. So my ticket, I'm going to go with 6 on top with maybe a 3-7 and in second as an exacta play, because I think that there's great, and 1-3-7. You can't leave those out, but that's value with the odds on the 8 right now. That horse should not be those odds.
Yeah, he wasn't that much of a standout. Lightly raced 3 times. You're expecting, another step up here, and that's 7 to 5. You're taking a gamble there. 4 to 1, I love them.
Absolutely, 4 to 1. You hammer the horse because we like it, but it's like, look, I did like it, but I don't like it that much.
Right? You know what it is and this is one thing I love about betting up there, which is great. Stable duel really moves the odds up there. It does. You know, in terms of like you can like
Trust the profit.
like 40 and trust the profit, right? But I'm saying, but both of them, the combination of them do. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like, if 48% on some horse and he's 10-1, he's going to go down to 3-1. You know what I'm saying? He's 7-2. You know, and sometimes if you don't,
Was it 48? What percentage is on the 8?
32%. So you know what I'm saying. So at least that's a high percentage. You know what I'm saying. So where if you look at, let's see the other ones just to give an example here. 5% are on the 1. You know, so there, people have kind of tossed that one, and the 3 is 8%. You know, so.
And the 6 is 31%, almost as high as the 8. But that's for the value of the horse. Like we said, the horse is almost always in the money up here. Stable duel is about getting in the money and getting green, and the horse costs $1,000.
Yeah.
How many people have taken the 5
Exactly.
Mosey's
And
on
like I
Main
said,
and
the first like click the 6.
Let me check for you, but 5 Moses on
check,
Main.
check for me, Sean.
0.
You, Colin.
0. You are the 1.
No.
Did you pick? Are you the 1? You were the 1 out of 254 who has the 5. So here we go.
Hey, don't ever fear being the 1, Colin.
Colin always likes being the 1%.
I won at Gulfstream, one of the Gulfstream stable duel events, and the reason that I did was that particular day there was a Luis Saez horse that nobody was on, and the horse won, and actually won by like 5 or 6 lengths. So he got 65, 66 points. I was the 1. I was the only person that had that horse.
Love it.
Well, bring me that luck, because Mosey's on Main is going to come flying down the pike here for the win.
Love it.
As long as 6 is in second, I'm okay.
All right, here we go. We'll throw it up to. All right.
Never Had I Ever is loaded. 2 left to load. Mighty Frisky, the 3-2 favorite on the outside. And now just waiting on Done Right. The field is set. They're at the post. And they're off. Stumbling a bit at the start was Moses on Main.
5 does not know how to break.
Straight to the front, Liveryman opens up a quick lead by a length and a half. Great Vision. Second on the outside, moving up on the rail. That's going to be Moverde. 4 lengths off it is Done Right, and another 3 lengths back on the outside, Mighty Frisky. And your trailers are going to be Moses on Main and Never Had I Ever. 22-1 the opening quarter, and Liveryman gonna try and steal this one. Moverde moving up closer on the outside. They hit the head of the lane.
Come on,
it's
5.
Liveryman with the short lead.
Come on, 5.
Moverde on the outside. Coming up the rail is Mosey's on Main. Moverde now takes over the lead with a 16th of a mile to go. And Moverde is going to win by 3. Liveryman second best, very close for third between Henry's in control and Mighty Frisky.
Bummer for us in our pick 3 with Trusty, the one that said the 1. We should have listened to you, Trusty. If that 5 can learn how to break, I'm telling you, the horse can run, and that was a big run up.
He's getting better. He's getting better every race. Yeah.
And that was along that rail that you guys have talked about just being dead. You know, at this point, I just didn't have enough. But I'm going to stand by my 25-1 value play there.
That's what I was going to say too.
I think the 6 got third over the 8, so it looks like 1, 2, 6, 8 to me.
I thought
that 6 was far back. I think the 6 got him inside. We'll see. It's close.
Close, but we did not.
We did not have the 1. We did not take the morning line.
Yeah, no, that's why I did not use this race in the stable duel, because I just did You know, the one someone's liking this 1 and 2 to 1 for a reason.
Right.
You know, but I couldn't see it. So
Yeah, and you're right, Sean. And that's another great. We were talking about stable door earlier. That's another way to where a lot of times when I see a race like this, that's why I ended on the horse I ended on. I took the 6 for $1,000, a horse
Yep.
that is almost always in the money at Assiniboia. So I didn't think I was going to win. I'm going to be happy with my 3rd or 4th place points in stable duel. I'm sitting in 4th in the $15 game, and I'm sitting in 7th in the free game. So
that's awesome. Yeah.
we still got a chance. It was the 8-6, Trusty. So the 8 did nose him out there.
1, 2, 8, 6.
I only got
1, 2,
to
8,
see
6,
that because I watched it on here, then I looked over at TVG. That was a little bit behind, and I saw like the last little bob. So I got like a double action replay.
And how many
I
times
cheated,
you
Tim. You
get
could say that.
$9,000 horse at 5%? That you don't usually get $9,000 horses at 5%.
Yeah.
That's an
And-
interesting.
You know, Colin, here's another great. So you look at this race and it's 1, 2, 8, 6, right? So if you're looking at stable duel, the cost of those horses in that order, in the order of finish, was 9,000, 3,000, 7,000, and my horse cost me 1,000. So it may look like that I did worse, but really not. To get good points on $1,000 horse and spend that money elsewhere, like I did with a $10,000 horse to get first place money. That's the way you do it.
Yeah.
That is.
Especially
And,
when.
you know,
Go
Go ahead,
Colin.
Dennis.
well, yeah, that's what I was going to say too. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was going to say. That's why I suck at stable duel. It's because people like Tim terrify me, and Matthew and Sean and Colin. You don't scare nobody. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Colin is the man.
I try to
Especially
be
when it comes to doubles, which Assiniboia drives me crazy doing the pick threes every race, and they don't do rolling doubles. I like the double.
Yeah.
That's a good bet.
Me too. Yep. Woodbine. I got Woodbine to add it 3 years ago, and what a difference it has made for them.
You personally?
Yes.
Nice.
I said,
Love it.
Klaus, get the daily doubles in here. Boom.
You know what? We should talk to Assiniboia Downs and make it like a special double instead of it being like, $1 double, $2. Just make it a $5 double.
Trust the Profits daily double.
I love it.
I like
Race
it.
6 and 7.
Yeah. Just
Well,
make
actually,
it
you
like a
can't do-
$5 minimum.
We
You
can
can't
call
do-
the Trust the Profits sleepy daily double.
Yeah, there you go. You can't do 6 and 7 though because they have the classic high 5. So we'll take races like 4 and 5 or 1 and 2. I love the early daily doubles, but thanks for the support, Tim. Daily doubles are where I attack on some of my shorter videos I've been putting out. So if you're looking to not spend a lot and if you can find the value, and that's actually, you know, we kind of talked about, or I talked about going into that pick 3 about the 8 and the price on the 8 being 2 to 1. Like if I try to break down my pick 4s and pick 5s as just smaller doubles, it's like, well, how would I play this double? Well, I'm not going to go whatever we went 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, I would either definitely toss that 8 or single the 8 if you're playing a double. Well, I need to start taking that approach when you're doing those longer pick 3s. And of course, this is different. We're just kind of having some fun and tossing it out there. And it's $9. So don't call me that you lost. Just call Dennis Trusty. He'll give you 40% back. So you just made the $350. You'll get $14.50 from Trusty's oil rigs down in Kentucky. And you're adding $5 to every bet. Oh, look at that. He's holding $5 up.
Now, I got a question for the class. Now, I got a question for the class here. Tim's a teacher. I don't understand the hand race thing. Why is the 2 8 to 5?
They're watching us.
9. What? Yeah. God. All right. Okay. I guess.
That'll change. You know, you see a lot of these early prices come up that we've seen throughout the night. Like that 7 in the last race was 14, 15 to 1 when I asked Tim, are you interested in this horse at this price? And then as you get closer with these smaller tracks, it obviously changes as you get closer. So I don't know that we'll see that 2 to 1 on the 2. I'd be surprised, I think, if we did.
You know, one thing
Yeah.
I will mention
Yeah.
about that too, just like if you look at the last race, that two got a really good ride. And I mentioned earlier in the chat that Carino was off all his rides tonight. So if you look, Demario Bino was up on that two in the last race, gave him a really good race. This kid's riding great. And and on the two in this race, and this is another horse I looked at a potential value pick, but I didn't need it because I had others. But the two in here, I definitely think can get a piece of this. And here you got Bino stepping up again on this horse.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's a daily double here.
Yeah.
Yep.
There is a double.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's a daily goal here.
They haven't always.
But like
had
I
it here,
said,
have
just
they?
make it like a.
I think they only do the first race and the first two and the last two. They don't do
Yeah.
rollings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, it's attack time.
Oh, Colin heard double and his ears perked up.
Let's go.
I'm telling you right now, if my 4 goes off at 9-2, I'm going to be awful happy.
And the one thing about that too, and it was just mentioned in the chat. Who was it that mentioned? Frank Payne just talked about it, but Desjardins, who Bino rode for in the last race, that's who he's getting up for in this race as well. Carino was actually scheduled on both of those. And the thing about him is, again, I like this horse underneath, but this guy is not having a good meet. I mean, right now, Desjardins, he's like out of 31 races, he's got 1 win.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance. That's the
But
perfect
he's got
trusty
8
pick.
seconds.
Yeah.
He does.
But
He's
he's
got
also
seconds, and he just got another one in the last race. But
That's Jeff Kritzinger numbers right there. He can win.
Yeah. You know, when somebody has that and they only got 1 win but a lot of seconds, I really don't classify that as a bad meet. Just for me, I find that being 2 things. Number one, his horses are in really good form and just getting beat like barely. And number 2, there's going to be good value on a horse like this. Except the problem is when people bet it down to 8-5 first click, that kind of knocks the value right out. So, but yeah, that's the 2 things I noticed with that.
look, I'm just going to say this, and this is all I'll say about this race as far as my picks. My personal betting earlier, I singled the 6 and everything, even in the way that I played the pick 3 ticket that we put together. I love the 6 in here. He was 3rd choice in the morning line, and he's already right now the favorite, and I think he will go off as a favorite, and I think the 6 wins.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Should I say she?
Yeah, short and sweet from Tim. I felt very similar. I had just written down that I thought there was my early notes were I thought this was a 3-horse race between the 3, the 4, and the 6, and I wrote pick one. You can't take a 5-2, a 9-5, and a 7-2, so you got to pick one, right? Well, I felt like the 4 needed the lead. That was where this horse has gotten its victories, and if it's not in the lead in the stretch, usually kind of 13 lengths, 11 lengths, 9 lengths behind. So to me, that just triggers, okay, a horse that really wants to be on the front end. Is there any challenge that this horse is going to get to the front end? And to me, that was the 2 that Trusty talked about, this Giddy Up Zoe, who's shown some early speed. From a Brisnet standpoint, the speed figures on the 2, at least early, were just as good as the 4. So that immediately called into question, can this 4 stay on the front when that's where the horse wants to be? And in a way, that kind of, now I'm looking at that 6 after my first run through of 3, 4, and 6. The 6 is 3 for 11 at Assiniboia Downs, so a horse that's had some success there, 3 seconds as well. And I like the pattern that I see this year as a 5-year-old, which is very similar to what it was as a 4-year-old, and a first, a third, and a first. So far this year up at Assiniboia Downs, and Chow is aboard again with that Nault connections that we had talked about. I think this horse can just sit off the pace, sit behind the 2 and the 4, and maybe the 4 tires, and then the 6 passes them late. The 6 was also a horse who has that late speed, at least in the range of the others that I felt was good enough. So I was that's how I looked at it. Needed to pick 3, and I landed on the 6. Sean, how about yourself?
Yeah, I love the 4. I mean, I may be wrong, but I mean, a 59 buyer and a non-winners of 4, where some of the other ones are moving up from non-winners of 3. I just like that. I had the 6 originally in my stable duel, but the thing is 41, 42, 35, 30, 47, 38, 45. That's kind of where this 6 runs. Now, I agree with Tim. I think the 6 could absolutely win this race. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And the 4 only ran 1, but the group that he was running against in this group, he went from option to claiming. That group against Kate's Princess was just way too tough. They dropped him down to 5, and he ran a huge race. This kid, Abley, is so good at getting horses out in the lead. Wouldn't be surprised if he jumps right out to the lead, kind of gets him on the outside, not on the inside, kind of has him on the outer side of the track and says, come get me on the outer side of the track. So to me, it was the 4 and then the 6. And then the 3 we'll do its usual second, third, kind of, get in the picture, but not there. So I would have played like the 4, 6, 3.
Yeah. I agree to everything that everybody's saying here, but you know what I'm not hearing being said? And this is this is a sign of why is this horse taking even any action? The 5 is 4-1. I have not seen the horse being brought up in chat. I've not seen any of us talk about it, even through the group sequence, the whole, even now. Does anybody like anything about the 5? I mean, that sounds really mean to say, but well, okay. The one person likes the 4 and the 5, maybe the 4, but the 5 is no, I'm kidding. But yeah, it's just very weird that the 5 is taking this much action.
Yeah, I thought the 5 was going to be in the mix with that early pace. He was the only other horse that I saw going with that 2 and 4 as well. So I had the 5. What I highlighted was the early speed there. I love horses sired by Painter. Painter's one of those horses that I always kind of pay attention to. We lost you, Trusty. You got to call in your cell phone. I think you're the one screwing up all the internet tonight.
I just don't think the horse won 6 furlongs. I mean, if you look, the horse is backing up consistently at 5.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go, Trusty. Poo-poo. Those of you that are new to the show, race 6 and 7, it's now past 10:30 here on the Eastern Coast. Yep. So what I like to do is give you a sleepy time pick, a horse to me that looks sleepy in the paddock. I usually pick one out of race 6 or race 7. There's no scientific method behind this. I need one of those betting disclaimers on the bottom. This is not real betting advice, but we like to have fun on maybe a horse that you want to fade. So this is a horse you'd want to fade, not one that you want to bet. Although 2 times the sleepy time pick has come in to win, both at prices. I'll be with you. That was Sugar Daddy Jack and All Terrain Jane. Other than that, they've all run up the track. So we are 2 for about 9 or 10 with the sleepy time pick. I watched a little bit in the paddock. The only one I was a little concerned about was the 4, but with the rider back up, his ears are perked, and it seems like he got his shot of adrenaline, so maybe he's ready to go. Didn't see anyone else in this race here yet that looked like we're sleepy, so I think I'm going to wait for the race 7 when I have a much bigger option of horses to pick from.
5 weeks in a row, I've noticed the horse that's always behind that bush in number 4 is always mellow. Like they just stand there. And then when they come out, they get live. But I'm saying, and they're always standing behind that bush. They're mellow.
It's a eucalyptus bush.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever the bush is that put you to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that field in the Wizard of Oz, when they all fall asleep. That's what that bush is made out of.
Yeah. Yeah. Bobby's got the exact 4-8 with 3-6-7.
Let us know what you like about the 8 there, Bobby. That's a horse that we didn't talk about. I highlighted as a horse that might be closing late, and a horse that's also run at some big odds going back to this year, with the second place when he was about 13-1 and a third place at 36-1. So certainly can't fault you for putting that horse in the mix. I assume your exacta there is 4-8 on the top. So please let us know, Bobby D, why you have the 8 on top. Interested on that angle. Mitchell purely going with jockeys in this race.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm gonna throw out a quick play as to what I'm gonna play personally, pari-mutually, just if anyone is interested. You've all heard I love the 6. I like doubles, and looking at the big race, lots of horses in the next with 10 starters. That typically spreads the money out a little bit. You do have 1 or 2 solid favorites, one really, which I'm gonna stay away from, in the 7. So I like the 6 here, and I'm looking at the 5 and the 6 in the next race, and those doubles are right now paying. For $2, you get 61 and 39.40. So I really like those plays. I think there's good value in that, and that's where my personal money's going, if anybody cares.
Very much
I would personally, I liked that 4 as well in the next leg at 25-1. So I'm going to jump on board with you, Tim. I'm going to just single the 6 here and go 4, 5, 6 in leg 2 of
that 4, Colin, is paying $188.60 for $2.
Yeah, not bad at all.
With that money, I'm gonna put it in just so you don't get that money all without me.
I like it. Jump aboard. It's a team game.
There we go.
So here we go. 2 minutes to race 6. We have the Classic High 5 as well. So Tim, you're new to the show, at least from joining us on here. So what I like to do is just someone throws out an ice cold Classic High 5. So we're going to have you do it. The pool right now is over $1,000. This is up at Assiniboia Downs. The Classic High 5 is hitting all 5 first 5 runners. Not a superfecta, not a try, but we're adding another place. So we'll give support up to Assiniboia Downs. And Tim, what is your ice cold high 5 going to be? I know who's in first.
6, 4, 2, 3, 5.
Like it.
6, 4, 2, 3, 5. So there you go. We've had Matt and Sean nearly hit this ice cold one time each. I think, Sean, you had 2 horses just reverse once.
Yeah,
and,
reversed. And all 5
second.
just the wrong. Yep, first and second reversed. Yep.
Yeah, and I think Matt had the first 4, and then the 5th place one got mixed up on him. So we've actually not been too bad at this bet of just I consider it a little bit of a lottery pick. But we'll see how we do. So Tim goes 6, 4, 2, 3, 5 on your Classic High 5. I'm going 6 with the 4, 5, 6 for your daily doubles. A lot of us are on the 6 here in our stable duels, which I am as well as Tim. Sean, who do you have in the stable duel?
4. Just
Sean's
the 4.
on the 4.
Just the 4. Yep. I think the kid. I think the kid breaks him out front. He's faster than everybody. Keeps him on the outside and just and away from the rail, and says, "Try to catch me."
So Stable Duel is updated, and Frank Payne, who is in the chat right now in the $15 game, he is in 3rd. I am currently in 4th, so we're both right there. And then in the free game,
I'm in 87th.
So
all green, Tim. All green, though.
I'm currently in 8th in the free game, and I am all green as well. But how many winners do you have in there, Colin?
I have only the 7 who I loved, Orcadian Storm.
Right, and I have 3, so that's the only difference. But I'll tell you what, I've got 1, 2.
That's a big difference.
It is. It really is. But I have 3 picks that are also in the 15, 16 point range. So it's not like I'm first or second. I've got 1 second and 1 third and then like 3 fourths.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a first, a second, 2 thirds, and then 3 fourths. But those fourths for me were that $100 horse. So not too bad there. And All Terrain Jane was a $500 horse. So I got positive numbers with 2 horses that I spent $750 on. I got 7,500 here on My Bella and 7,000 on Looking High in the next race. So
yeah,
maybe I can catch up to you with some winners here.
There we go.
All right, they're approaching the gate. Good luck to everybody. This is race 6 up at Assiniboia Downs. No sleepy time picks. No one to fade here. Tim and I are both on the 6th, along with Kurt. Sean is taking Stretch's pick with the 4. We lost Trusty. I don't know what happened to Trusty. His internet went out. He liked the 5, I think he said, just to
Trusty likes the 1 over the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with 3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
I think he said he was running to the ATM to get money for all the refunds.
He was, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, he doesn't have to. He's just got to go out to the back in his oil field and pump another barrel for today, and then he'll ship out the 40% that you get back. Here we go with Rex, who has a tri-keys, singling the 1 on top on the 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 6. Oh, then he's backing it up with the 1 in second. So he's backed himself up, but he's using 2, 3, 4, and 6. Good luck to you as well, Rex.
To you, Rex.
So
if you haven't yet,
I was just going to say the 6 has been the favorite the whole time, and the 3 just took quite a bit of money, went from 3rd pick to the favorite.
3, 5 to 2 picks here. Oof.
Wow, now they're all even. 3, 4, 6, all 5 to 2.
Trusty was on the 2. Remember, that was the horse that came out 8 to 5 and is now 9 to 1. Yeah. Was one that I was interested as well. Was actually my value play on capping the card this week was the 2. Giddy Up.
Giddy Up, Zoe.
What races? What races will everybody be watching this weekend? Any big races?
What do we got this weekend? I don't know yet. I haven't looked that far ahead. I'm on all about Monday, Sean.
I haven't either.
I hear you.
We just got out of last weekend, Sean. I needed a day to catch my breath.
Tomorrow we start.
Thursday we'll talk about the weekend.
Yeah, if anyone wants to look at Assiniboia and go a little bit east, the Canadian Derby, the King's Plate is this weekend.
Are you going?
And
yeah,
Sean's going to be up at Woodbine
on Thursday. Yep, I get there Thursday. Yep. May jump into the cocktail lounge from Woodbine. You never know.
Oh, that'd be awesome. You can join on
live
your phone.
Man on the Rail picks.
Exactly.
All right, let's throw it up to Kurt for race 6.
Lipstick Lady, the 3-way co-favorite at 5 to 2 goes in. Load Abroad, the other co-favorite at 5 to 2. Walks up and in.
Oh, that's right, Alex. The Alabamas this weekend.
Next up, Artisan Dancer. Maybella also at 5 to 2 goes in. 2 left to load. Hidden Dreams. Now just waiting on Secret Avenger to the outside. They're all set. They're at the post. And they're off. Wiggly from the middle, Artisan Dancer goes out to get a piece of the front end with Load Abroad. Putting on the pressure on the inside, settled back 2 lengths. That's Giddy Up Zoe. Lipstick Lady to the outside in 4th. Maybella in a good position in 5th. Another half length back to Secret Avenger. Then a gap of 7 more to the early trailers. And are going to be Fluorescence and Hidden Dreams. 22-1, a quick opening quarter with Load Abroad. Now with the lead by a half a length.
Here comes Maybella to pass them all.
An all-out drive in second. Lipstick Lady moving up smartly in 3rd. Maybella making a move 4 wide. 45-1, the half mile.
Let's go, Chow.
They hit the head of the lane and Load Abroad.
Get up, Chow.
Off their feet, kid.
Get up, Chow. 3. Maybella has the only shot, but it's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
It says Load Abroad, who draws off to win by 3. Second best is going to be Maybella. 3rd is going to go to Lipstick Lady, close for 4th.
Well, I had all the horses. 4, 6, 3, 5,
You
2
did.
was the.
You did, yeah, absolutely, you did, yeah.
It played out similar to what I thought was going to be detrimental to that 4, which is getting pressed not by the 2, but instead by the 5. And when I saw those fractions and Maybella coming on the outside, I thought we were in good shape. But Lodebrod had another, I wouldn't say another gear, just had a little bit more energy to hold on.
And that kid is riding
4-6.
so much confidence right now that, you know.
Well, it never hurts for a horse like that to get a 5-pound allowance either.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And also coming out of that non-wins
you know,
4.
Off the turn, I thought we was about to get a great horse race between those two. Because the 4 still looked loaded to me midway through the turn, and the 6 really looked like that horse was going to fire up and start really catching in. And I didn't know who was going to win it, but then the 4 just, like you said, didn't have another gear, just had more of a staying power, I guess.
Yeah, congrats to Frank. He's alive in the pick 5, so
he'll go, Frank,
with the 4, 5, 7, and the 8.
Good job, Frank.
Rex, did you hit? Going back to what's this weekend, Alex reminds us that you got the Alabama.
Yep, big race. Yep, big race.
For the fillies. I think it's maybe Tax. That's a filly I love who won the Black Eyed Susan. Is she going to be up there maybe?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, let me see here for you.
Yeah, I believe so.
That killed my pick 4 right there. I was alive to I had singled the 6 in there.
Yes, not seeing it tonight as well as we at least.
Oh, I was just gonna say when y'all said Alabama, I was thinking, well, who should Philly be backing that?
I didn't see her on the probables.
Huh. Interesting.
I see Wet Paint, Julia Shining, Defining Purpose, Gambling Girl, Saber Tuft, South Lawn, and Tax. That's your probables on Horse Racing Nation for the Alabama. Rex is also alive in the pick 5, but only to the 7. That's all his coverage, though.
Yeah.
7's a favorite, but it's one I'm playing against.
Yep. Yeah. Exchequers has had a solid meet early up there at Assiniboia Downs.
He's struggling a little bit lately, but but he can bounce right now.
Anytime you see Gallant Oak ahead of you, that's okay. That's nothing to be
nothing. No, exactly. Still shocked nobody played Gallant Oak last week, you know?
Yeah.
In the stable duel. He was live.
All right. 11 o'clock. Definitely sleepy time pick here for Trust the Prophet. Thank you all who are still hanging out. It's 1,000 degrees in my basement right now, so sorry if I'm sweating all over the screen. No AC down here, as we were in the middle of August up here in Boston. It's been steamy.
Yes.
Tim, where are you? Ohio?
No, I'm Louisville, Kentucky area, but I'm just across the river on the Indiana side.
Very nice. That's right. I remember that. And do you have anybody in the last tier in Stable Duel?
I do. I only have the 5 left in Stable Duel. The 5 was one of my value picks, and I thought this race was wide open. I didn't want to spend money in it. That's another one of the strategies that I look at, just like I said 2 races ago, where I took that $1,000 6. In this race, I took a $250 horse, and that's all I did in Stable Duel. Now, is the horse going to win? I think I said when we were putting our pick 3 together, the horse I picked on top as a handicap that was the 6. But I do think the 5 has an honest choice here. So I like 6 and 5 here.
Yeah.
Sean, where were you?
6. Oh, no. Yeah, was that 6? Hold on.
Looking high.
Yeah, looking high.
I think it was. Yep,
looking high. Yep. No, I really like this horse's last race. I think this kid Tarasenko is riding very well. And I think this race will fit him perfectly. And I like the fact that the buyers are going up again, which is a big plus for me.
Yeah, and you can look at that last race, House Limit. Solid horses come back to 1-2 back. A lot of those horses you see were just in the Manitoba Derby. So Manodora, actually your Manitoba Derby winner. Gallant Oak, who won on that Manitoba Derby day, and Monstradamus, who won or ran well. Ran one of the
second, but ran great. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a key race right there that you're looking at. So that 5th place finish, you can't sneeze at that. And then going 3 back, you had Gallant Oak again, and even Gray Admiral, who's a strong horse up here at Assiniboia Downs. So the horses that the 6 are facing, or has been facing, are key. You'd like to see him win that last race at the claiming 5,500 level, but like I said, House Limit was fed mince by Sean, so you know that House Limit is a horse that at some point in his life got the luck of the Irish.
Yes,
from
absolutely.
From Patrick.
Yes, at 1-9, he won it. For Jimmy Jerkins, and I fed him mince afterwards.
I really loved the 3 Captive Kitten. That was my value pick in here. This horse is scratched. Thought that was where I could finally find some value, but another time. I didn't see a lot of speed in this race. That was something that I wrote down in my notes, which I think certainly sets it up for the possibility of having a horse. I said you could go, if I wasn't going to go Captive Kitten, you could go with a horse like the 4, who's shown early speed at 25-1 with Whitehall aboard. Tim's talked about the 5, North Fork, and Jessica also, I heard when I was in the stream,
she liked it. Yeah.
That 5 North Fork as well. Trusty, where were you? This has all the makings for a trusty 25-1 bomb.
Yeah, it does. Yep.
Yeah. So for me, I'm alive still in the pick 3. Some of these are paying not great, but better than what I thought. The 7's paying almost even for me, small loss, but then I'd have the 6 so that I would also be alive to the 1, and then the 2, the 4, and the 5, and that's where I think I'm leaning for my bets. I think I'm definitely going to bet a win bet on the 2, 4, and 5 because all of them will at least pay me my money back and everything. But place might go to the 4 and the 5 because I really don't love the 2 that much. But 2's got good value right now. But I hope the odds board drifts back up so I can play a place ticket on the 4 and the 5 as well as the win bet.
There's your latest odds. The 2's 21-1 right now. Your 7 is your favorite at 2-1. Exchequer. Frank, let us know again who you were alive to in the pick 4, in the pick 5, so we can look at the payouts and cheer you along. I'm meanwhile looking at the horses in the paddock here as we try to decide who our big time sleepy time pick will be. There's a lot of pressure on me, and this is a wide open race, so this is where you could get caught up. This can little talk about a little bit. In a race like this that's open, Tim, you said it's wide open, and you've talked about in Stable Duel you're going to avoid races like that, or at least avoid spending a lot of money, which makes sense because you don't want to spend a lot of money in a race that you feel could have some wild cards thrown into it.
Yeah.
How about from a pari-mutuel standpoint? You certainly talked about you like to attack maiden races. To me, this is the type of race that I'm watching the probables on in a bet like an exacta, and leveraging maybe these 4 and the 4 and the 5, who are both prices, and maybe putting them in the second spot and then maybe putting them on top over a couple of horses. That would kind of be where I would play it. How would you approach this race from a pari-mutuel standpoint?
So one thing I always look at when you get so many horses, particularly late in a card, late in a sequence, is I like looking at wheel pays, because the odds at this point in the card, once you've seen how the track is playing, once the public has been betting them, the wheel pays really tell you where the money's really going to be. And if you look at the wheel pays right now across the board from the double to the pick 3, 4, and 5, the 7 is the favorite in all of them. The 1 is second favorite in most of those, and the 6 is the third favorite behind those. Again, I like attacking races like this pari-mutually. It's a different strategy from Stable Duel. So while I probably wouldn't put a lot of money in my stable and stable duel, this is the kind of races I like to wager on because these are races, especially when there's this many horses in there, the money is usually spread. You get a favorite like this one to where the public's going to put most of their money in the 7. I'm probably going to play against that. So I'm probably going to play against a 7 at least on top and hope to catch a price. And again, I like the 6 on top here anyway. So personally, I'm probably going to play something like a 6 with 157. That's the horses that I like the most. And just to throw one more thing in there, I thought the clear speed in here was the 11. I think the 11's the only one that wants a piece of the front end, potentially the 12 a little bit. But I think the 11, especially being in the 11 hole, I think the 11's going to want to go. He cannot get caught. He cannot get caught out wide in this 7.5 furlong race. He doesn't have a lot to that turn, and he's got to go.
Yeah, and does that scare you away from a horse like that who's out on the 11th hole with that speed?
It does. When I look at this horse and I look at how he likes to run and having to use himself up that much that early, I would not put the horse on top. I wouldn't be afraid if I thought the horse had the stamina to play him underneath, but if you look at the horse, he's gone on this track. He's gone at this distance 3 times, and he's got 2 seconds. 2 seconds out of 3 races at this level. And then again, one more thing that
I just don't know what number the horse is. So he was walking around without the numbers on, and now I'm trying to search him down as I watch the camera. So I'm keeping my eyes over there. Dennis, how are you betting this pari-mutually? You had mentioned some of the ones on the inside that you liked.
Well, Tim was going to say something real quick. I'll let him finish up.
No, I was just going to say the 5 is really looking good to me when you were talking about looking at horses. I like the 5. The 5, to me, I think is stepping down a little bit here. So go ahead, Dennis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. And so I guess also to piggyback off that, in my favorite races to bet, I guess, I like the starter allowances or the open cheap claimers because, like example, in this condition, there's 12 horses listed. What's the requirements? You have to run. Okay. And they're all cheaper, so some of them are inconsistent. Some of them might peak up one night. Some of them, sleepy time pick, that might be important actually tonight instead of, some of the other nights. This actually might be a pretty good sleepy pick here to tell somebody what's up. But when it comes to these horses tonight, like you got a horse that's won 6 times, 12 times, 5 times. Good horses all around in this race.
Where's the alarm?
Oh, boy.
Dog named Dino.
I am totally for it, though, because I do have a win bet on that horse.
On the other show, this would be flagged.
I'm looking for it. That is, Dino's not dead, thankfully. At least I hope not. That is the dead pet alarm. If you like a horse just for the name, which there was a horse named Banjo that ran.
Came in second.
Friday, I think. I wish you didn't text me because then I bet on him and he didn't win. So I was mad at you, Sean.
He came in second. Hard.
Yeah,
Third and second.
I bet him to win though.
Okay.
The one thing I said
Huh?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to ask, Colin, where's our boy Banjo Bear? Have you been keeping up on the Banjo Bear?
I don't know where he went. He's been replaced by Banjo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Banjo.
No, I like Banjo Bear better. That's the original. That's the OG.
That's right. Go ahead, Tim.
No, I was just going to point out, we talked about strategy again, and I talked about trying to find the horses that you think the morning line doesn't fit and where you can get the value and picking them before you pick a lot of your other horses. And I said that the first one I picked today after I picked my 3 favorites was this 5 North Fork. And I said that we would not get 20-1 because that was not a good morning line for this horse. And the horse is sitting at 6-1. So you're getting a 6-to-1 horse for 20-to-1 price in stable duel. And those are the kinds of things I just like to point out when it comes to playing stable duel. It is really just going through the card and picking out to where the morning line just doesn't fit, because you're getting a lot more value for your money in stable duel.
Yeah. Just an update for everybody who's
Absolutely.
wondering.
That's what you want to expose.
Yeah. On 8-11, Banjo Bear worked out at Remington.
Here's your sleepy time pick. I found it.
52.
Rolling sevens.
I like it. Oh, he's got the bug boy on.
Number 12 is your sleepy time pick. Rolling sevens. That is the horse that I saw who was looking sluggish tonight. So number 12, rolling sevens. You will either be in infamy here on Trust the Profits, or you will continue the trend of following up with my keen eye of looking at the horses in the paddock for who is not going to come out and run strong. We will see how that plays out.
And how natural that is. You picked the sleepiest horse with the jockey who's been most alive. Okay, good call, Colin.
You watch, Dennis. You watch. I don't let you down, my friend. And I didn't hear you talk about the 12 in your pick, so you should be happy.
Well, he's on the screen right now, and I have to agree. He looks pretty darn sleepy.
We'll get one more shot of him as my internet struggled. My internet's sleepy tonight, but he's sluggish. The last one to get dressed in the paddock. That's why I couldn't figure out which number he was, because they didn't come out with any markings, but that's where the pick's going. It's the number 12. So let's take a look at these probables. Frank, good luck to you. You are alive to what I saw is the 4, 5, 7, and 8 for the pick 5. Is that for $1 or for 20 cents? Please let us know. I'm going to look at some exacta bets. I got $5 left in my account from what I put in tonight. So we'll see if we can turn that around. And what were you going to do, Tim? 4, 5, 6? That's what I'm going to do.
I was going to do the 6 with the 157.
6 over the 157.
I just like, since I really like that horse, play him on top in exactas. I think that there's some value there in those horses right now. The prices are $40, $92, and $27 for $2. So
fabulous pace, Tim. Fabulous. Yeah.
And if I can get that 6-5 home, we'll be eating at Sizzler.
I love it. Love it.
Hey, and by the way, Sean, you said you're going to the King's Plate this weekend.
Yes.
So, I don't know how many years ago this was. This has been at least a few years now. So my father worked with the horse that won the Woodbine Oaks and ran in the Queen's Plate at the time, Desert Ride.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
We really loved her. That might be the best horse I've ever been in the same barn as. I think that's probably it. But man, that if she'd have hit the board on that, we'd have gone insane. But no, have a good time up there this weekend. It's going to be fun.
Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be a full field of 17, and this is one of the most wide open Queen's Plates in a very long time. We've had some pretty strong favorites last couple of years, and this year it's a wide open race, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of liking Kazushi's horse in that race if he does right.
Now that is going. Now that's going 6 over the 1-7 to clean up his earlier messes. Frank's Payne's pick 5 is for 20 cents. Bobby D's going 2-6 over the 1-7-8. All right, we need a ice cold pick 5. Who should we get it from tonight? Trusty?
Oh boy. If I was doing pick 5, it'd be all. No kidding. Let's let Tim do one.
I just did the last one. I'm good. No, I just did the last one. Somebody else. Colin, you should take it, Colin.
This
all right, you're gonna put it on me.
For super
12? No, no.
That's well.
All right. No,
I personally
we're
like the
gonna
3
go.
and 10.
Let's see. I'm gonna play the Boston angle. We're gonna go 61745. 61745.
Love it.
Yeah.
For those that
Dennis,
don't know,
Dennis.
617 is the area code up here.
Dennis, if I'm not mistaken,
Huh?
that was Neil J. Howard, wasn't it?
Yeah, Neil Howard.
That was Neil Howard's horse. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Stevie Bayhan rode her in the Queen's Plate. Yep.
Yeah, and he rode her in the Woodbine Oaks too, and that ride was. I still don't know how she got the win there. She was so far behind it,
I know.
and I think she won by like
came
that
flying.
much.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Good luck, Rex. Hopefully, I put him in the winner's circle for you. He picked the 12 before I dubbed him the
All right,
sleepy
there
time
you go.
pick. So
Wouldn't be the first time
best
you've
of
done
luck
that,
to
Colin.
you. That would not. It would be the third, but who's counting? They're actually 2 minutes to post. It's posted as 0. So we have a couple more minutes here. I'll use this to use the opportunity. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please smash those buttons
Yeah.
below. They do so much for us. We don't ask for tips or money. We just ask for the support. Thank you to everyone in the chat tonight. It's so great to see
Thank you,
the
everybody.
continual, the Todds, the Rex, the Malathats, the Alexes, the Franks, Matt, Trusty, obviously Tim. Thank you so much for you. I thank Jessica for stepping in earlier. I love what we've developed and built here on Monday nights, soon to be Tuesday nights when we hit September. I hope all of you are enjoying this content and the continual content that will be coming. We're starting to plan out our Travers shows. So that'll be the next really big one that we'll be talking about. We'll do the Wheel of Destiny again, which we will spin the wheel and everyone will get a horse and give a reason why they do or don't like them. That was a huge hit last year. So we will bring that back as we wrap up race 7 here. Tim, do we have a shot to win Stable Duel tonight?
I don't think I can win. So I was looking. I'm currently sitting in 4th. They haven't updated the picks from the points from the last race. So I should jump up to 3rd. But I think I can jump up 1 place. I can finish as high as 2nd. But the guy that's in 2nd currently, he and I have the same exact picks. We both had the 6 in the last race, and we both have the 5 here. So I cannot leapfrog him. So we could both end up in 1st and 2nd, but 2nd's the highest. But 2nd or 3rd, most likely.
Who is that? Is it someone we recognize?
It's a regular in there, but it's TJ. So right now you got Begsy in 1st, TJ's in 2nd. Payne, who is in here, Frank Payne, he's currently in 3rd, but again, they haven't updated the points from the last race, and I'll jump him. I'll leapfrog him based on the last race.
Look out for that spin guy.
Sean, where's Smurf on the turf?
Huh? Oh, in the free game, I got to check her exactly. I'm 15th with a win in the last race, so I'm hoping my 6 can kind of jump frog me up into the top things there. Let me see here.
Awesome.
Oh, you got to check Smurf on the turf.
Smurf of the turf is 20th place.
All right,
she's 20th right now.
She's right there, man. She's right there. You know what's
funny
story?
Up the rear again.
Funny story. I put in my free team about 9 hours ago, and I forgot to update it. So my $15 team and my free team are 2 totally different teams, which it's kind of funny.
Well, my team didn't get made, so I at least have
both doing well.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
7, 9 to 5.
You're just the only one in
All right, Mike.
Right.
Yes, internet is struggling tonight. You got to pay your bills, Trusty. You're not coming back on. You get on and screw it all up.
Yeah,
I know. Well, actually, you know what? It's fine until you turn on the video, and then my internet goes bad, just as bad as yours. I mean, at least whenever we're all on full screen, it's not like the worst thing ever. I might have to just switch to my phone, though. That might be a lot easier. Was that easier last week after I switched?
Yeah, it's okay. It's the last race.
Okay.
Next time.
Okay.
Next time.
I know. Next time.
Follow Trusty on Twitter. He gives out your free picks. He
Yes.
does very well with those, and he also has some that you can send him some tips for. You had a nice 25-1 a couple weeks ago. You were on fire. So he is at Dennis_Trusty. And obviously, Stable Duel. You want to get in to learn these free games. Join these shows so you can listen to pros like Tim and Matt and Sean. And I can ask the questions and not give the answers, because until I can finally get that elusive victory, I'll just ask how you do it and then try and learn and do it next time. My ice cold pick 5 is 61745. I think you can get a shot in here with the 6, who's 5-1. I think that's a very nice price for a horse I had on top. Let's throw it up to Kurt. And please don't let the 12 win.
It's turn. Silvermaker goes in. Dino a little fractious, as is Impressive Sense. Silvermaker now in. Old
Let's go,
Special
Tarasenko.
steps up and in. 2 left to load. Himmelstein.
Let's see if that 11 bolts out
Now
of the
just
gate.
waiting on rolling 7s to the far outside. The field is set. They're at the post.
He hopped.
And they're off.
Hopped at the start.
On the inside, Dino showing some early speed to the outside. Himmelstein, and now rolling 7s.
Oh, he woke up.
Rolls on to be the early leader. Dino back to second. Himmelstein on the outside in third.
He'll be asleep in the back
in
stretch,
between
though.
horses, Impressive Sense. Tucked in
I don't
on
know.
the rail. That's going to be gone
He's moving.
somewhere.
He took a lot of money
Is
since then.
outside, Exchequer. Another length back to North Fork and Gold Special running as a pair. And then another length. That's going to be looking high. And Silvermaker can see them all. 24-1 in the opening quarter. And it's rolling 7s. Rolling along to a length lead. On the outside, Himmelstein in between horses. Dino making a 3-wide bid. That's Exchequer. Now 4 wide. Coming up the rail, Impressive Sense. Gone somewhere. Is starting to make a move. The half. 48-2. 3 across the track. Dino in between horses. Rolling 7s on the rail. Exchequer to the outside. And Dino now takes over as the leader and is drawing up by a length. Coming up to the 16th pole. It's going to be Dino getting it done in the nightcap. Rallying for second, Exchequer. Third is going to go to rolling 7s. Votes for fourth and fifth between North Fork and Gold Special.
Tarasenko never
trying to
even
play
got
the-
six. Nope. Clear the building. Clear the building. Yeah, smoke.
You break it?
Yeah. The building is going off. It's getting smoky.
I can't stop it. It won't
Yes.
stop. Yeah, look at that.
I thought that was just like a cool joke.
There we go. I couldn't get it to stop.
All right.
Congrats to whose dog was that? It was Todd's.
Someone's dog. Yeah, Todd. Yeah, good boy. Yeah. Good boy.
Todd.
with Dino. Congrats. I hope you played it and hit
Yeah.
it hard. That's one of the first times that we had a sleepy time pick go right to the front and almost take them a long ways. Usually the 8
Yeah,
would have been the
Dino.
right sleepy time pick there. He was a mile behind. But
Yeah.
Dino gets home at 10-1, and I will tell you, I was ice cold tonight. Didn't hit much of anything. Tim, good luck. Is that 2 going to hurt you, or are you going to be all good?
Well, I mean, I took the 5 in here, so which I was looking, and nobody around me has the 2, the 7, or the 12. So a lot of people have the 5, believe it or not. I'm looking at it. If you look at the 5 in stable duel, 11%, not super high, but no, I think I'm going to be okay. We'll see how the points come in. They still haven't loaded the points from the previous one yet. So we'll see. We'll see how it falls out. There's always a couple of people, unless you go back and check like everybody behind you that's within, striking distance. There's going to be a couple, like here's one right here in 7th place right now, has the 2 Dino, and they're close enough to me to probably pass me by. So
we'll see.
So there's a couple.
Well,
I mean, it'll be a cash for sure, but I won't be up at the top like I thought I was going to be first couple of positions.
That's okay. I thank you, Tim, for joining. Thanks, Trusty. Thanks, Sean. Thank you to everybody else. Sorry the internet was struggle city tonight. I didn't mean to play the alarm 46 times, but the internet's struggling. So we will wrap up on that note. The sleepy time pick ran 3rd, so that's disappointing for me. We try to get you the last place ones. We'll get them next time. Till next time, this is Trust the Profits. Thank you all once again. We'll see you next Monday.
Everybody.
And have a great evening and rest of your week as I run the outro.